You know what? I respect the Elder Scrolls series. They've provided me with a lot throughout the years, from my first ever "what the fuck am I doing" moment in Morrowind when I was like 8 or 9 at my grandparents' house to the "holy shit, it's 5 AM and I gotta get to school in 2 hours" panic attacks spawned from late night Skyrim sessions. They've taken, and I mean taken, but they've also given a lot. When I was old enough to understand that I was an actual sentient little meat sack, I got my little dick beaters on Oblivion, and there were many hours just spent wandering around, scouring the land for better gear, more gold and more adventure. I loved investigating the guilds and quests, but hated being in Oblivion itself for some reason. It was one of my favorite games at the time, and I remember when Skyrim was announced, I creamed my little high school shorts and prepared for impact. That game was everything I ever wanted it to be, and it's still on my top 3 games ever. That game still slaps, and I play it to this day. And hey, if you don't want to play Skyrim anymore, you can just mod the ever-living shit out of it, and you can get yourself a Red Dead Redemption. It's free too. People are freaking wild when it comes to modding, and I love it. It's pretty obvious, I assume, by my opening statement that I wasn't really around for the MS-DOS Elder Scrolls titles, and I haven't played too much of Morrowind either. I feel like it might be important to mention in terms of how I qualify for shitting all over what we're about to play. I've still played all the games in the series except for Battlespire, but I haven't no-lifed Arena or Daggerfall or even Morrowind for hundreds of hours. I just wanted to get that out of the way before we begin the video proper. I don't think it really matters when it comes to Redguard, but I threw it in here regardless. I've spent a moderate amount of time in Morrowind, hundreds of hours in Oblivion, and thousands in Skyrim. What I want with this video is I want it to be an overlook of the game, sort of a guide, a review, a playthrough, an analysis, and just pure fun on my part. So I hope you'll enjoy this behemoth of a video of the Elder Scrolls game that almost no one played, and that almost drove Bethesda into bankruptcy. From creating your own freak of nature to dealing with quests in open-ended ways was and still remains the staple of the series. Player freedom to do whatever you want in the worlds the game takes place in are the center of the experience, from Arena's added-on RPG elements far into development to Daggerfall's borderline fantasy simulator experience, where you could camp, adventure, level up your skills independently, join guilds, and fight your legal actions in a courtroom. You could even buy homes, boats, and horses, and even take up loans from your local banks. Not to mention the map was and still remains one of the biggest landmass maps in gaming history. It's almost as big as Great Britain. Like, Arena has a big map too, don't get me wrong, it's the size of Australia if I'm not mistaken, but that's kind of a different beast when it comes to the empty spaces between shit and how that's calculated, so it's kind of a yeah, but technically no kind of a deal. You'd think Bethesda would cash in and improve upon this sandbox formula, seeing as both Arena and Daggerfall were commercial hits. Arena being a bit slow in sales to start off with, granted, but it only took a year before it became the talk of the town, and Bethesda started raking in the dough for that too. They didn't continue that trend though. They did the opposite of what Todd Howard promised for Fallout 76.
16 times the detail.
And made Battlespire the next game in the Elder Scrolls franchise. Smaller, more broken, less questing and freedom. You know what, I guess it kinda ended up like Fallout 76 in a way. Less role-playing, fewer game mechanics, and a smaller map. The size of a shriveled up hay grabbing nipple compared to the behemoth that was Daggerfall. It was said somewhere that I read that the original CD for Battlespire came with a letter telling fans to temper their expectations with this game while they were working on the next mainline entry of the series, which was obviously Morrowind. Man, what a bummer. Imagine getting that in your fucking CD case and you just know it's gonna be a bad ride. Well, Battlespire sold horribly, but it wasn't critically shat on at least. It got decent reviews. It is said that Battlespire sales numbers were so low that Bethesda feared they would go out of business soon, so What did they do to fix that? To create their next Elder Scrolls game, among a lot of other games they made in this era. This is the next year, by the way, after Battlespire. They would start by tearing apart what fans loved about the series, like stats, leveling up, your choice of weaponry, a big open world, and adventuring, and systems and consequences like crime and punishment. Just rip it all out. It's all gone. The list goes on, and they still doubled down after Battlespire, and announced and eventually released today's fucking torture device, Redguard. A narrowed down experience taking place only on a petite little island nation in Hammerfell called Stros M'Kai. Its overworld is one of Bethesda's smallest to date. I think Elder Scrolls Legends is a fair competitor, but we don't talk about that. And it's even smaller than Battlespire before it. Even smaller in scope, less freedom, and with none of the Elder Scrolls DNA. Imagine how fans felt after the filler game that was Battlespire and they shove Redguard down your throat. Oh wait, we don't have to imagine. The game was a commercial flop. Nobody was playing it, despite okay reviews at the time. And it was one of the final straws that almost sent them into bankruptcy. Now, Todd Howard was spearheading this title, his first Elder Scrolls game as a leader and director, and it was obvious he wanted to make this swashbuckling adventure with an Indiana Jones vibe to it, which... why? Why would you do that to an Elder Scrolls game, Todd? It's everything this series is not. Well, I guess you're happy now though, because you're actually making an Indiana Jones game, so I just hope you don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Make this right. Smaller world, less things to do, but with a more controlled and detailed environment. Julian Jensen referred to the project being a more focused and more narrowed down story-focused game, and it's right on the money. That's what Julian Jensen, father of the Elder Scrolls series, or Julian LeFay as he's sometimes coined, that's what he said about the project, and it strayed far away from his interpretation and wishes for the franchise. So with all that being said, let's take a look at the game that was such a colossal flop for Bethesda. The Elder Scrolls game that no one played. The Elder Scrolls Adventures. Redguard. We're introduced to an intro cinematic, much like all the other games in the series, explaining everything going on with every faction of interest, which era we're in, and where we are in Tamriel. These intro cinematics were kind of a staple of the series, and it continued in every Elder Scrolls game up until Skyrim actually, which just dropped it completely and replaced it with that gentle little cart ride into town. They had such a hard-on for this trend too, they even cashed out for Patrick Stewart in Oblivion. They really went hard on these intros, man. It makes me kinda sad too, because they always felt kinda cheap to me, like all of those cinematic movies slash live action intros the games did at the time, but... because you know there was a whole team dedicated to that shit, and they probably worked their asses off. It probably was kinda dope back in the day though, but looking back, it's kinda cringe. Well, there he is. The guy, Todd the God himself. I wouldn't slap my name on this.
It is late in the Second Era, a time of war, as the empire of Tiber Septim sweeps through the kingdoms of Tamriel in a glorious bid for conquest. Septim is opposed on all sides, but never more fiercely than by Hammerfell, the ancestral home of the Redguards. The High King of Hammerfell, Thasard II, resists the imperial invasions even as he sees other kingdoms crumble. Until at last, without warning and surprisingly devoid of court treachery, death takes its full measure. With its High King dead, Hammerfell is crippled, plunging into a bloody civil war between the crowns, fighting for their homeland's continued sovereignty, and the forebears, who have finally accepted the Emperor's rule. The crowns, led by the heir to Thasard, Prince Ator, are continually victorious, spilling the blood of the forebears across Hammerfell's sands. From his seat of power in the port city of Stros M'Kai, Prince Ator slowly reunites his father's unraveled kingdom. Feeling their impending defeat, the forebears sign a pact with the Emperor, allowing him to bring his armies in, crush the crowns, and rule Hammerfell as his own. Tiber Septim's armies prove too much for the proud Redguard crowns. Tiber Septim sends his best commander, Lord Richten, to Stros M'Kai to close the grip on Prince Ator and the crowns. The prince rallies his forces for one last stand. Knowing that Hammerfell's sovereignty is at stake, the crown forces match the might of the Empire, meeting them in the harbor of Stros M'Kai for the final battle. The fighting is fierce. Lord Richten, having seen the prince's victories at sea before, decides to bring his last resource to the fore. The dragon, Nathalilagus, proud jewel of the Imperial crown. Ator commands his archers to ready their weapons, but is struck down himself by Richten's assassin, felled by an arrow whose poison spreads too fast. Ator's wizard attempts to save the prince, but the dragon ends his magic and the crown's hope for victory in a single fiery breath. Having conquered the crowns, the Emperor's forces claim rule over all of Hammerfell. Imperial garrisons are stationed at every city, and Richten himself is named provisional governor of Stros M'Kai. Months pass. The Redguards of Hammerfell, both crown and forebear, learn to live under the new imperial rule, and Tiber Septim extends his reach into the rest of Tamriel. It is only through fate that any of this will come to concern our hero, Cyrus, a Redguard who long ago left Hammerfell to wander the borderlands of the Empire.
Got all that? No. Well, that sounds like a you problem. In all honesty though, I count myself an above-average enjoyer of the Elder Scrolls games, and even I had a hard time keeping up with remembering the names and the factions and the everything presented here, to be honest. Maybe, Bethesda, as a start to the game, don't barrage your players with enough lore to make a Metal Gear Solid game blush. I know this stuff is important to build a world before you arrive, like the situations going on and the like, but it's okay if you've missed a few plot points though, because as we'll soon learn, our character won't leave a damn person alone until he's interrogated them, until they've explained to him like everything they know about anything and everything. We're gonna learn about everything, whether we like it or not.
Let's make this short, Sarathra. I've got work to do. I leave with Duardine's men in an hour. You should know you got me the job. The seal is broken. Yeah, I bet you were. Izara. I need a ship. Money, too. We haven't spoken in 10 years. There was trouble. I killed her husband.
What did he say?
No, that's not you suffering a stroke listening to our old guy Sarathra here. I thought I had installed a wrong language package when I heard him talk. He's actually speaking the native language of the Khajiits called Ta'agra. I was kind of fascinated by this because we haven't really been exposed to that a lot in the series, so I did some research and it appears that the voice actor for Sarathra just made up a whole bunch of stuff as he went along. Huh. It seems like his utter nonsense spawned something though. And that is the birth of the language itself, because after this game, Bethesda started expanding upon this blabbering, which is kind of cool. And in my research, I also uncovered a dusty old webpage dedicated to deciphering and translating this Tahagra. It's called the Tahagra Project, and they've translated 2,626 words from what they've scrambled together, basically, from the Elder Scrolls Online, Oblivion, and Redguard. I think a handful of stuff from Morrowind and Skyrim too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh wait, the last update to the dictionary was August the 27th, 2019. Ah. Seems that they've kind of given up. That's a shame. Well, for your efforts, I salute you, Doradin. Enough about that. We're introduced to Cyrus proper, a Redguard mercenary who works underneath the Sarathra. And this guy, man, he's so dry. It will be obvious that Todd Howard wanted an Indiana Jones type for this adventure game. Someone with charisma and a little bit of that dry humor, but still quite a bit of charm to them. But there's only like dryness here. It does feel like that to me, at least. He's the emotion equivalent of old, stale, farted out jeans. Cyrus's delivery of literally any line is like two stone slabs just grating together most of the time, and that's a problem because the game will center around mostly two things: dialogue and combat. And this game does neither particularly well, but it does do the dialogue way better than the swordplay. And yet you heard me. Just swordplay. There's no magic here, or any other weapons, but we'll talk about that more later. The voice acting, as you'll soon witness, is still sometimes the worst, absolute worst I've heard in a game, and the combat is absolutely horrendous.
Hammerfell's prodigal son, Cyrus, returns to the province of his birth. He buys passage to the island of Stros M'Kai in the hopes of rescuing his sister, Izab.
Get below is what the pilot said to the wet-haired knaves before him.
The Restless League is claiming this cargo.
Said the other with cruel clarity.
Probably wouldn't make a difference if I told you I had no time for this.
This is about Redguard armor, boy. Stand aside.
Yes, a doubtful notion it is. Piracy and politics. But there you have it.
Never been much for politics. In my day, piracy was honest work.
Don't be a hero, boy.
Where's the money in that?
And yea, verily, by his bravery they were impressed for a scant few seconds.
Wait, swimming pirates? Surely this game is like shitting me right now. Why the hell would they be swimming? I guess they don't have a ship? But then how did they swim and survive the Oh, wait, no. They got a ship. Big enough to conquer the whole fucking island nation. And there's more people over there too. How did we not hear this huge bitch come sailing in? And why did they only send 2 people over? Man, that voice acting though, Jesus.
Too damn very wet small. How about you? Let me show the wealth a thing or two.
Okay, combat sucks. It's the worst. So I'm gonna explain to you at the beginning now of this video, so you'll understand how bad it is. We're gonna be doing this a lot. There are 3 forms of attack: a slash, which you can combo up to 3 times, 1 thrust attack, and 1 piercing attack. You can block attacks, and you can strife side to side amidst this, as well as just start running around if you want to. It will never convey how utterly insane this is to control by just looking at it. But trust me when I tell you, this was absolutely abysmal to, like, comprehend during my playtime. It's so clunky and awkward. Like, Ocarina of Time came out the same year as this. Let that sink in. The main problem here is that the enemy behavior is impossible to nail down, and when you decide to attack, however that is, you open yourself up to getting stabbed, and sometimes nothing you do matters, and you can just as well just stand there and swing your sword and hope for the best. The only reliable action is to just hold block. That works pretty well against humans. You might sit there and say, oh, like, oh, you're bad at the game, and you can do better, probably, and that's probably true. But you won't. No one will play this game. I swear that I was worse when the credits rolled than at the start of the game, because without proper introduction to the systems, and with a system that seemed to be based on luck rather than logic, I slowly started to lose my sanity towards it. And I just opened, like right now, 10 hours into the game, the manual that came with the game, to see if there's any help there. And it didn't expand upon or explain any more of what I just pieced together by myself. Thanks, Bethesda. Good job. After stumbling our way to victory against these rascals who calls themselves the Restless League, we carry on. Wait, is he just gonna fist us? Why did he send those poor fools to their deaths? They outnumber us and could have easily just conquered our little boat. But I guess they're just gonna accept defeat, I suppose. They're just gonna leave. Okay. And this Restless League doesn't seem all there, to be honest.
I hope this letter finds your hands, friend. My latest travels have brought me to Stros M'Kai, and no one here has seen your sister for 3 months. I fear the worst. I feel obligated to stay for a few weeks. I'll be at the Dragon Tail Inn should you return. Tobias.
Man, this Tobias guy seems like a stand-up guy. Our sister has gone missing, and he's Chad enough to just live the life here for weeks in Stros M'Kai while we may or may not show up. That's pretty solid. He's got a lot of trust in us. I could have been dead for all he know, but we're not, so let's try to find our way to this Dragon Tail Inn. Stepping off the boat, we're free to do whatever we want, really, and that's pretty cool. You can take off in any direction, talk to whomever you want, and you can explore at your own pace. There's only one quest in our... Wait, we don't really have a quest journal, do we? But rather a normal journal, where Cyrus writes down clues and events of importance to his search for his sister. It's very CRPG, and I like it. Like, no map marker to mindlessly follow like some kind of drone. But wait, have you noticed something strange? Something is missing. Something really important we should have been introduced to by now. We have seemed to skip the character creation section. And it's for a good reason. There is none. This is what you're left with for the rest of the game. Nothing as much as a hairstyle change can be modified. And worse yet, there are no skills, levels, or even the ability to use other weapons or armor. Everything you got on you, that's what you got. Man, he's such a goofy looking ass too. The role-playing aspect of this game is completely thrown out the window. And you've got nothing to look forward to in terms of upgrading any gear, weapons, or special items to help you feel more powerful besides potions, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, let's try to talk and get directions to our destination instead of just wandering around, and lo and behold, you can just ask people about anything. Dialogue kind of works like Daggerfall, where you can ask a lot of questions about things and you get replies, but in this game, your questions and replies are voiced. Almost always related to the story at hand and more focused on the story at hand. It's a proper story adventure game, but with the Elder Scrolls name kind of slapped on top. And I just need to state this, because I have cut out what probably has to be around 6 or 7 hours of just pure dialogue from this 20-hour-long video game. That's a lot. No, wait, okay, hold on, I did the editing. 5 hours of dialogue. Some of them worse than others. To be honest, I mean, that's a lot. Especially for a game like this, back when it was released. I think Half-Life and maybe Metal Gear Solid would be the games that were in the same ballpark as this when it comes to the amount of dialogue. Pretty impressive. Normally I wouldn't care too much, but it's obvious as we progress the story and meet new characters that the questions you ask become repetitive and mostly just blend together, but there are nuggets in everyone's responses about almost everything you ask that you can use as little guiding stones to make you piece together stuff more easily. So you kind of have to exhaust every dialogue option with everyone, and it's just becomes kind of natural after a while, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie though, I sometimes just left my PC to do other shit like mid-conversation. I just had to have a break from it all sometimes. It's a lot. I had to force myself to sit down and continue sometimes. But hey, if you like that kind of stuff, sure, it's fine. I do too. But it comes to a point where you want a more varied playstyle. And when you're locked into an hour-long investigation sesh with characters like this,
You know how women are. Not my type, though. Rolo likes some large.
you kind of want to spice things up with like literally anything else. Chores around the house became my fun breaks. Not a good look, Redguard. Not a good look. We strike up some conversations with people at the docks. You can't talk to just about anyone except for the guards and a handful of workers, so giving any NPC a shot is always kind of a valid option if you want to pester and bother anyone you want. This lady, Siona, as we learn her name is, knows some stuff about her sister, but don't let this be a commodity. Almost no one we talk to will know about her sister, and you're gonna have to comb this little island for more info on her. We touch upon lore, story snippets, and we kinda get some directions too. We learn pretty much the same from this guy too, but this guy seems to be like turning pages as he's reading his lines.
What do you know about it?
They were the necessary cancer of a nation divided and at war, grown at the borders where the kingdom's skin is most contested by the foreign sword.
Or is he supposed to stutter? Is he nervous? Is that it? Or can I just make fun of him? Because it's a fine line to walk, this one. Before we leave for the inn, which Siona told us where it was, we talk to this guy who gives us a quest.
I have a proposition that may appeal, but first allow me to introduce myself. Kotaro, contractor of Stros M'Kai, at your service.
Cyrus. Charmed. Tell me about this job you have for me.
A simple task. Pick up an amulet from the Gasta and deliver it to the governor's palace. Now, to be honest, I've been having trouble finding someone to take the job. But I'm sure a robust lad such as yourself pays no attention to silly local superstitions. Are you interested?
Okay, that's easy money.
Sure. I'll take the job.
Splendid. Here's your 100 gold. I'll have the rest for you after you deliver the amulet to the governor. Well, I'm sure you won't have any trouble, but, you probably want to do this during the daylight.
We should do it during the day. So there's a day and night system.
Nagasta?
A harmless old hermit. The more superstitious of my fellow citizens repeat silly rumors about him, but I put no stock in their tales. He lives in the old wizard's tower, just follow the shoals on the northwest side of the island.
He says the pay is high and
Proportional to the danger. Nagasta's tower isn't exactly on the main road, you know?
okay, yeah, whatever. But I'm already on a quest, so I gots to go. After following instructions and exploring a bit and trying to break into every fucking house around, we finally find the Dragontail Inn at the far end of the town after stumbling across a local drunk.
Name's Cyrus. You okay?
No, I'm Crandall.
The town doesn't really look good. In fact, nothing in this game kinda does. To be fair, this game came out in 1998. I didn't look good back in 1998 either. Oh wait, I totally did.
Oh no, he's hot!
Here we meet Drekius, the Argonian tending to the inn, and the guy that managed to send us the letter through the Empire's vigorous snooping, and my god, this game does not look particularly pleasing. To be fair, this game was made using the X engine, the same engine that Daggerfall and Arena used. So it's kind of impressive to see what they managed to do with it, but trust me, it could look a lot worse. As Cyrus does, he questions every single fucker he can grab a hold of, and Drekius is no different. But next to him is Tobias, the man who wrote the letter to us and our former colleague slash friend.
Cyrus, you made it. Come here, lad.
How you look good. It's been too long.
If you hadn't retired,
Mercenary life's younger men's work.
bah, he said.
I prayed that you would get my letter.
They must have had a strong bond because they haven't spoken for like 10 years, and when visiting Stros M'Kai he learned about Isara's disappearance, as stated, and managed to get that letter to us about the whole ordeal. He tells us that Isara is a crown, something Cyrus is totally aware of, it seems. A set of former traditionalists sworn to the former Prince Thasad, who died in the war on Stros M'Kai, and after his death, the crowns and forebears engaged in what can only be described as a civil war. The forebears had sided with the Empire and seemingly committed treason as the Empire conquered Stros M'Kai and Hammerfell in general. Tensions are high to say the least. The new leader doesn't take well to the crown, so they are spoken of in hushed whispers. We learned that an old quarter has been burned down by a dragon because of this exact reason, and Tobias mentions
His dragon's belly is full of the overloud.
nobody's quite sure if she was in the old quarter when it was burnt down either, so we gotta find some more info on that. After chatting about local politics, we get our first lead. A brother of the nearby Temple of Arcane may have some info for us, and we should check the jail too. Without any quest markers on the map, we just gotta roam around until we find our goals. Wait, we haven't even taken a look at the map yet. Wait, what even is the map button? M. Okay. We don't appear to have a map. Good. Good. Nice. As we roam, I do find the local jail, and I try to break the game here by doing some Metal Gear shit and like shimmy along the ledge, but I get cucked. And I have to swim for my life for like 17 hours. I don't mind not having quest markers though. Like, I love that shit in Divinity Original Sin 2 and Pillars of Eternity and Assassin's Creed Odyssey and basically any proper CRPG. There's something about having to figure shit out on your own instead of just slaving towards that icon on your screen. I kinda like it. We can't get into the prison, though, it seems.
I need to visit with one of your prisoners.
They don't take visitors. Now go about your business.
Because I can't keep my little dick beaters to myself, I try to break into every fucking house I find again, and I finally find a little hovel where the door isn't closed, and whoa! I don't even have a joke loaded up for this guy, holy shit. This guy's Rollo. He just looks so fucking bad. But trust me, he could look like a lot worse. And he's a fucking freak too. He talks about a deal he has with a Garrick that whenever the harbor bell rings, he goes down to the docks and carries crates for 1 silver each crate. Wait, hold on. This is one of the few times silver has been referred to as currency in the series. That's not normal. I did some research and I found basically nothing. So I did some math. Let's say 10 silver are worth 1 gold piece, right? At best. I don't think 100 silver is 1 gold, so let's go by the first assumption and see how this all goes. If this Rollo guy carries about 20 crates every day on a good day, like there doesn't seem to be a lot going on, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of ships coming in, like that's 2 gold a day. Let's say Rollo wants to buy a shovel, because he wants to make himself a little external shitter. Wait, there's no toilet here, Rollo. Anyways. He wants a shovel. That's 30 gold. He'd have to work 15 days just to afford a shovel. He'd have to work about 1.5 days to buy an above average wine at the Dragontail Inn. He is fine, Rollo. That's okay. You got yourself a good deal. Let's leave.
And I only have to go down when the bell rings. Means the ship's arrived. Yup, Rollo knows a good thing when he sees it.
Oh, but wait. What's that? He's not even sitting on a damn chair. He's sitting on a chest. Interesting. The temple. Okay, but first I have to interrogate this poor woman because I need answers. And hey, guys, like, I'm not shitting you right now. I'm being serious. If you have headphones on, take them off or destroy them. At least for the next few moments, because I'm going to introduce you to something so atrocious, it might bend your mind like a damn Lovecraftian monster. Okay? You good? Okay, here we go.
Well, that's strange.
Excuse me, miss, can I have a word?
Yes, my name's Mariah. What can I do for you?
Do you know of a woman named Izara?
Used to see her around, but that was a while ago. Last time I saw her, she was headed toward the cartographers. Never saw her again. And was 3 months ago, if it were a day.
And even my main man Cyrus is in utter shock by how bad this fucking shit is. The game barely even served me the questions to progress the dialogue, as if it was hesitant to throw that shit on me. I suffer through this, so you don't have to. Okay. Cartographer. Jesus, fine, I got it. Temple first, though.
Good cheer, sir.
At the temple, we meet, and I shit you not, the coolest brother ever. Brother Niddle. This guy's got swagger. Just wait, I promise you, okay? This guy's got some juicy story stuff going on. He says he knows her sister, and that one of the brothers of the temple was quite enamored by her. He too went missing approximately at the same time as her. Another clue, no doubt. It's obvious.
My sister Izara has been missing for near 3 months. Perhaps you have heard of her?
I knew her well, actually. But she never mentioned having a brother. She was a fiery sort, as I'm sure you know, and her Redguard blood did not fare well under Imperial rule. She is not the only nationalist who has disappeared since the governor claimed the city. There have been others.
What others have disappeared?
Brother Kithral, my initiate and good friend, for one. He was an outspoken man and a Crown sympathizer. He was enamored of your sister, I must say, and took to her Crown propaganda readily.
He's saying that he sent him to the garden, which that old fucking crazy lady spoke about earlier, by the way. She apparently tends to it. He went to gather mandrake root and never came back. A lead to follow later, for sure. The old bag is also having some kind of PTSD about the recent war, where he healed the wounded, and instead of resting to recover, the current governor, Rickton, threw them in the catacombs. He also says there's a rumor that my sister knew the prince that died, and the prince's body was lost at sea when they lost, so we can't really go ask him for any questions. Niddle also elaborates on this Nagasta, the person we're gonna collect an amulet from on the other side of the island, and that he is a necromancer with ill intent. He's cast a soul snare on the isle, and if you die and don't get the proper treatment, or have your last rites performed properly, your soul will be snatched up by this Nagasta. We're gonna have to go visit this guy soon. He also tells us that he fears Izara is dead, as she would never leave the isle. She's too devoted to the previous prince and the climate before the war.
I will be honest, Cyrus. She is either dead or worse. For I know she would not have left Stros M'Kai even after Ator's defeat. Rickton had a list of rebels when he took the throne, and Izara's name was undoubtedly upon it. She was a devout Archaean, Izara. I once almost convinced her to join the temple, but that was before she... well...
Before she what, Brother Niddle?
Well, man, before she vanished.
Before I leave, and before Niddle performs the single most coolest act of all time, I ask him to heal me, but what the fuck? Rickton has issued a tax on the healing. I need your life spirits, old man. The fuck no, I'm not gonna pay 25 gold for that. You're dope, old man. But you're not worth 25 big ones. I'm sorry. Okay. I've been hyping up Niddle's swagger, but it's all coming together now. Okay, look. This is the spot.
Goodbye, my son.
Man, that's dope. You got my respect, old man. I'll be back, but not for healing. That shit is expensive. The next day, in real life, not the game, I decided to read through my journal. Some parts of it are kind of missing. The bottom mostly, it seems like it's a bug. I think the aspect ratio is kind of off. But I remember that there was some kind of a park near a waterfall where one of the brothers of Arcade had gone missing. I got the clue that it was beside some waterfall by that fucking awful woman by the temple. And I'm not shitting you. I had to look up where this was on the internet, because take a look at this. Does this look like a park? Look at it. It looks like grass and some unkept wilderness. Whatever the governor is paying her is way too much. And I bet she's not even getting a fucking dime. Take a look at that. Some kind of naughty little entrance. Intriguing. We enter by going through the other side, and down here there are goblins waiting for us, or, well, the wiki says they're goblins. I mean, look at these. It could be anything. Gremlins, if anything. So, we obviously destroy this specimen and venture forward into this big room where a door halts our progress, a big one. There is some loot scattered around, and a small door which is locked. The only way to progress seems to be to jump down onto these mushrooms surrounded by literal acid. It's an insta-kill if you touch that crap, by the way. And I swear to God, I tried this so many times, and this isn't edited, by the way. When you load into a cell or from death, the game sometimes speeds up like 10,000%, and one press on the forward button can launch you into like orbit. And it's only gonna get worse from here too. Trust me. But after some tries, I managed to gently bounce Cyrus across the dangers, and we explore the dungeon. These dungeons are built up by 3 parts: overcoming enemies, exploring, and platforming. In this case, we defeat the goblins down here, as well as shimmy along this wall to a big opening in one of the cave walls. Cyrus then finds a corpse within this opening.
The Journal of Brother Kithril, wherein he describes a search for Archmage Voa's ring in the caverns below Stros M'Kai. This last part reveals much.
I can taste the poison in my mouth, a yellow fog in the chest that clogs the vital pest. Oh, the gash in my side weeps fast. Which will kill me first, wound or toxin? Damn her impatience, and damn my pride to think I might find the ring here in this nefarious darkness on my own. But she missed the rendezvous, and I fear we are running out of time. With the Archmage's ring, we are one step closer to restoring the crowns to power. I am sure his body is here. Some trick of undercurrent in the wake of the battle. The spider's milk is deep. Izara, I pray nothing has happened to you. I hear the goblins behind the door. Ubula, Ubula, Ubula. They come for me. I have failed you, my love, and the ring is nowhere near. You must hurry. The League is closing in. The Empire is closing in. The darkness is close.
My brother Kithril. It seems Kithril and Azara wanted to find a special ring down here, and that our sister failed to meeting him, leading to his death, it seems. Man, this isn't really a cheerful story. So far, it's only been very bleak and, like, dreadful, and with an even duller story. And that's all that has been presented to us in this supposed swashbuckling adventure game. We had a clue on how to get through the nearby door.
I hear the goblins behind the door. Ubula, Ubula, Ubula.
After killing the doorman, we found a teleporter, which, I swear to God, is a pain in the ass to get onto. One of the locations is a cage surrounded by acid. Okay, hard pass. The second and last location is a room with a door. I traveled to the place with the door and wow, look at that. We are back to where we started. This might just as well be Bethesda's Castlevania, huh boys? I go back and travel to where we found the teleporter. Downstairs of that location hides a room that will progress us, but every time I get down there, I get my ass served to me. I don't even ice any of these fools. After 5 times, I just give up and leave. Defeated. Back at Brother Niddle, we give him the news about Kithril, and he now counts us among his friends for finding his friend and colleague. Because he now trusts us, he shares with us a little secret.
Brother Niddle, I have bad news. I found Kithril's body in the caverns. He's dead. I'm sorry.
The caverns? What could he have been doing there?
I found his journal among the remains. You should read it.
Oh my. Poor lad. What did he hope to accomplish? Cyrus, I now count you as a friend. Kithral's fate is revealed, and I shall bring you into my confidence.
Go on.
The body of Prince Hator is here, at the temple.
It is?
Yes, it's the only safe place for it. We can't quite bury it.
Why?
There is a spell of stasis upon it, to preserve it and stave off its decay. Archmage Voa enchanted it thus, just after the prince's death.
Archmage Voa is mentioned in the journal, and his magical ring, which both Kithral and my sister were looking for.
Voa's ring was used to enchant the prince's body.
So they would have used it?
To dispel the body's stasis field.
Why would they do that? That would only serve to send the body along to rot.
Yes, you're right. It doesn't quite make sense, does it? It is Redguard custom to preserve their great leaders in stasis, so that they might be looked upon ever after in their prime. To break the stasis would be treason, or hubris, even.
Now, there's something we're not getting yet. Both Azara and Kithral were crowns. Whatever they had planned for the prince would only have been for his benefit.
I am sure you are right.
Okay, maybe not a little one. This is getting stranger and stranger as we go. We've barely been here a few hours and the plot is thickening. He now heals us for free too. That's some good shit, because we're gonna need it. Trust me.
Can you heal me, Brother Niddle?
Of course, my friend.
Until later, Brother Niddle.
Goodbye, my son.
We go to the cartographer next. We learned from the fucking awful lady that there might be a smuggler's den underneath there too. So off we go. And I feel sorry for the voice actress, Dale Steen. You did good with other characters in this game, but my god, like this one. And it makes me kind of sad too that her career kind of died as soon as it got started, if IMDb's anything to go by. Maybe she was just a developer. You know, that lady from, was it Arena? The lady that talks to you in the beginning? She was just a developer. Maybe that's the case for Dale too. Time to buy ourselves a map and ask a shit ton of questions.
Yes?
Good day. I'm Cyrus.
Aren't too many youngsters around these days, especially not as well-spoken as you. I'm Maiko, the local cartographer. Can I help you?
Do you know a young woman named Azara?
I'm afraid not. I don't know too many of the youngsters around town these days. You see, I prefer to spend my time with my maps.
What do your maps tell you?
Maps are like people. Did you know that, Cyrus? There are good maps, bad maps, indifferent maps. You shouldn't trust most maps. They'll lead you astray if you give them a chance. An honest map is rarer than a true friend. Remember that, young sir.
Do you have any maps for sale?
Sorry, I don't sell retail. Contract work only. But perhaps I can make a map for you?
Wait. Oh, okay. So, yeah, sure, make us one.
I could use a map of the island.
I used to make those, but I can't compete with the big Hammerfell cartography houses. Hire beggars and street urchins to copy off a master map. You've probably seen their cheap city maps around. Nothing like a good hand-drawn map. But people don't seem to care about craftsmanship anymore.
Wait, what? I've literally asked you to make me a map, and then you say no because some other business has more business than you? How are you still in business? He refuses to make a map, so we're just gonna have to find a map elsewhere. Jesus. Imagine turning down business because somebody else does the same job. What a knob. He doesn't know Azara, sadly, so I guess we're just gonna have to visit this smuggler's den whenever we stumble upon it. We are making little progress in finding our sister, I feel. We've done, like, nothing so far to even narrow down where to look. The Mages Guild is located next door, so we go there and find some oddities. This place has more interaction and items than the whole town square combined.
Volumes on the art of magic. I would never have the patience. A piece of amber. Sure smells like orc's blood. What's a wizard without a crystal ball? This horn looks to be from a unicorn. A dried out sack from a pig. It's a small purple salamander. Text on potions. Says here that orc's blood mixed with pig sack provides great strength.
There's even a door with a warning on it issued by the guards.
It's empty. Somebody's really been through this place.
The shopkeep lady doesn't know our sister, this Felicia woman, but she does sell potions, of which we buy one of each. Health, iron skin, and strength. They're pretty self-explanatory. These are all the potions in the game. We learn that the new Archmage is busy studying for the Battle Spire. Nice reference. He won't talk to us, is what she's saying, so we can't really get any info from him either. I think Cyrus finds this little elf kinda hot though. Like, listen to him while he's asking for potions.
What's for sale?
Magical potions of all sorts.
Upstairs we find something different though, like a Harry Potter-esque pensive. Or what? Pensieve.
Curiosity is not a sin, Harry, but you should exercise caution. It's a pensieve. Very useful if, like me, you find your mind a wee bit stretched.
No, okay, I know there's like a hot nerd debate that Dumbledore pronounces it wrong in the movies, but my god, if Dumbledore says it, it's canon. But take a look at the water inside the little pool and see something.
The future.
No, it appears we have death to look forward to. How fun! We do look a bit older there though, so I hope it's at least a few days from now.
The past. Old friends long gone.
We exit and wait, what's this? Some kind of trick of the guild maybe? Some magic spell to confuse us from leaving. Let's go back in. No, in all seriousness, I had to like reinstall the whole game because every time I tried to launch the game after this, it just wouldn't even load the like DOS box. Like it was a whole mess. Fuck that shit. So after troubleshooting for like a whole hour, we're back and we meet this snake tamer. I shoot him a few coins and he loosens his little throat up a little. This guy's a Veek. I keep mentioning their names, by the way, as if you're all gonna remember them. But just in case you do, that's why. They have names and I'm gonna mention them so that whenever I eventually reference them in the future, which I will, a lot, you'll have a general idea on who I'm yapping about. He says the name of our sister seems familiar but won't help us because, and I quote, "Not many young people have an ear for the snake songs anymore."
I'm looking for my sister Izara. Do you know her?
The name sounds familiar, son, but I'm afraid I can't help you. Not many young people have an ear for the snake songs anymore.
What the hell is that? That doesn't make any sense. Cyrus beat the ever-living shit out of this pleb. We know he's good for it too. He's like a mercenary and has been for decades. Why would he just stand there taking that? He's obviously sitting on some info and he's just giving bullshit explanations to why he won't help us. There's no way to even push the question further and we're left with asking about generic stuff again. I just paid you. Give me something. I can, however, tell him he's good at the flute. And what a pushover, sigh. He also spills the beans about a Yakuden family up north of the city walls trying to bury their son and give him his last rites properly so his soul doesn't get snatched by Nagasta. We gotta check that out too. Yakudens are basically the people who lived on the island where the left-handed elves and the Redguards came from, but that's a different story. They've basically been banished from the city because, well, racism, innit? We ask about the Restless League and he tells us this. Okay, so this Nagasta has put like a grand soul snare on the island. It's kind of like how you do it in Skyrim, I guess, where you enchant your weapon with a soul snare, and then if the target dies within an X amount of seconds or minutes, then you fill up a soul gem. He's just done that to a whole island, just lingering there, snatching up any poor fucker that dies, and I assume he does stuff to their souls? We don't know what he does, but it's safe to say that it's lewd. That's why the mother of the dead young man is taking forever. They're trying to help his soul reach the correct place and not into the pocket of Nagasta. Man, I feel bad now for taking on this quest to go visit him, but there's a hefty 200 gold payout waiting for me when I get back and deliver it to the governor. It's also a nice way for me to get into the palace with ease and question the governor about our sister, which is kind of also one of the main quests in the game. We also learned that he's a member of the Mages Guild, retired now though, he's old and brittle. He has a friend called Yoto, who apparently informs him about guild insider secrets. He's in jail now, though, for some reason, so maybe we can find him in there later. Okay, I'm gonna keep this short, because there's a lot of dialogue in the first section of the game. But I go to the shop and I buy something, but as always, Cyrus can't help himself, and he needs to ask questions about everything, as if he's gathering knowledge for like the Elder Scrolls equivalent of the Wikipedia. This Garrus says he thinks she's connected to the Restless League somehow. The reason her name is so fresh in his memory is because she came in and asked for malachite, and she needed it fast. 3 weeks delivery time wasn't cutting it apparently, and he fears she might have visited the smuggler's den in search of a better deal. It's kind of an open secret in town, the smuggler's den, and he says that he bets they're working with the Restless League. He also tells us that the Mages Guild is the only place now that sells potions. That's probably why he sells aloe. It's a healing item in the game, but I have no clue how to use it. You need to mix it with water, apparently, and I'm trying to get water out of the town well, but I need something to contain my water with. He also says that the governor, Rickton, is crazy about anything dwarven and that he has soldiers stationed in every dwarven ruin around. Hey, we finally get to learn more about that drunken lout we met earlier, Rollo. The local belle is supposed to get him to the docks to work, but he rarely ever comes. That's strange. So he offers a shovel, aloe, torches, and feathers for some reason. I snatch up a shovel for 30 gold. That's expensive. That's 15 workdays for old Rollo. Okay, so I have a few places to go then. To Nagasta, the weird necromancer up to the northwest. The family trying to bury their son somewhere outside the city gates. Or the bell tower that I still haven't discovered yet. Or I could just abandon my commitments to life and just escape it all and just wander out into the fucking desert. Yeah, let's do that. After channeling my inner Skyrim vibes to climb the nearest tallest mountain, I spot some characters talking nearby. They immediately want to do the old sword and dance, and I feel kind of bad for killing them.
Hey, brother Ned, look what we got here. Sorry, that thing's sharp.
One of them drops a map that we can finally use to guide us along our trip. I have a feeling the map is kind of broken too in the aspect ratio, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll put the full map on the screen for you, for your little eye pussies. I explore a bit and eventually stumble upon the camp Avik told us about, the Yakutans.
Looking for something?
Hello.
What do you want?
Is that your mother over there? Is she all right?
Go away. Leave her alone. We don't need your help. I can take care of her just fine. Leave us alone.
I've heard about your brother being killed by the soldiers. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Care to talk about it?
It's just hard. Trying to take care of my mother with Hale being killed and we're not allowed in the city, and everyone else leaving. And now it's just the two of us. And I don't know what we're going to do. I'm Coyle, by the way.
I'm Cyrus. Again, I'm sorry about your troubles. Do you know anything about the Restless League?
Sure. They're the bravest Redguards in them all. They'll never surrender to the Empire. They even blew up the governor's ship right in the harbor. Do you know how I can find them?
Afraid not. I was hoping you could tell me.
No. Hale said they'd never let a Yakutin join. But why not? I figure they need all the men they can get now. And I'm a pretty good swordsman myself, you know.
Coyle, do you know my sister Izara?
She was your sister? My mother blames Izara for getting Hale killed, but I know your sister did her best to save him. She fought off 10 soldiers, all by herself. I'm going to join the League and fight the Empire, as soon as my mother's safe.
Avik told me that he saw Izara and Hale together on the day he was killed.
Avik, the Snake Man. Hale liked him. He was always nice to us. She brought Hale into camp that day, all bleeding, but I'd never seen her before. She tried to explain what happened, but Mother wouldn't listen, just screamed at her and told her never to come back.
So you don't know why she was with your brother?
She said she needed my mother's help, but Mother was too upset. I guess the soldiers attacked them on the way here, but I don't know why. Hale was never in trouble with anyone before.
I'm surprised your mother is able to protect Hale from such a powerful necromancer.
You shouldn't be. My mother is a powerful witch, the witch mother of our whole tribe. If Hale hadn't been born under the sign of the serpent, she could have passed his soul through the necromancer's web easily.
This serpent, one of the constellations?
Yes. The other 12 follow the circles of heaven, guardians and charges, but the serpent respects no master.
We need to find the snake constellation, as that one kind of shifts around the sky and is kind of like a wild card somehow. If we can figure out where the snake constellation is in the sky right now, we'll be able to arrange these rocks in their respective places and send the boy's soul through Nagasta's net and into the afterlife. Okay, got it. We gotta find a way to solve that, I guess. Another quest we've started on, but I have no idea how to progress on. Okay, I didn't mean to, but I found this bookstore and I bought a bunch of books from this dope-ass Khajiit. These are the books I got.
I'd like to buy a book.
These shelves hold wisdom and folly in equal measure. Choose carefully.
How much for Elven Artifacts, Volume 3?
The hoary tale of the Flask of Lilandril piques your interest. Legend more than history, but a good read for 40 gold. Will it be yours?
I'll take it.
Excellent choice.
What do you know of this legendary flask?
Legends surround it, but Jafar is sure the flask is real. Scribes of ancient Lilandril record its discovery. Yes, the flask is not of elfish make, despite what you may read. They found it, used it, and lost it. But its creator is unknown.
What makes the flask so valuable?
Here we have only legend to guide us. Stories tell of the High Wizard of Valenwood himself, defeated by a stable boy, armed only with the flask. Exaggeration, surely, but still a kernel of truth. An anti-magic device of no small power.
It sounds like the flask may absorb magic.
Perhaps. That would explain why no mage has ever been able to detect its location.
Is Flora of Hammerfell worth buying?
The authoritative work, no less. And for the bargain price of 15 gold, it can be yours.
I'll take it.
Excellent choice.
Do you recommend Favrel's Dwarven lore?
Marobar Sul's Ancient Tales of the Dwemer is more comprehensive, but hard to come by, alas. And a weighty tome, too, at 16 volumes. For 54 gold, Favril's little book is an excellent overview.
How much for Redguards, their heroes in history?
Your taste runs to the patriotic. A tale to stir the blood and fire the soul of any true Redguard. Although our esteemed governor might not agree, Jafar asks but 20 gold.
I'll take it.
Excellent choice.
What do you think about Folk's Firmament?
Less ambitious than Yunkarl's published studies, and less concerned with comparative astrology. Though a decidedly human take on the stars of Tamriel, Folk's Firmament is not without its own little virtues. Jafar can part with it then for 36 gold.
I'll take it.
Excellent choice.
Peace, Desert Walker. Sky above and sand below.
And water within. You speak the Targa like a desert walker, Cyrus. But there is no need for such formality.
Hey, he even tells us our Tagra is pretty good. I knew that site would pay off. Down by the docks in a tower watching over the bay, we found a peculiar person. And his name is Purnell. An old bloke acting as the watchdog for incoming ships, apparently.
Hello, sir. Sir, could I speak to you for a moment?
Who's there? What do you want?
He immediately spills the fact that the Restless League seems to be after our sister, Izara. They were rude to him, apparently, so he's just like selling them out for free, it seems. And he can't see too well, apparently, because he's lost his eyepiece. The giant telescope acts as glasses to him, I guess, and he says he can only see, like, through the telescope, and he can only see what's out there. That's kinda sad, but we tell him that we're gonna find his glasses, because why not? Before we bounce, he says that there's a smuggler's den underneath the cartographer's place, and that they know how to contact the Restless League. But why do you know this, you weirdo? But that's the way to our sister, I guess. He says it seems that she's stolen something from them, and that's why they want her. We need a password too to enter, but he doesn't know that. Man, this guy knows more than the whole town combined. Just a stone's throw distance away from our goat, Purnell, we find the place he mentioned. Whenever he goes out to the ramparts, he waves a little flag, and it means a ship is coming to Hunting Bay. That's where we are. That makes the bell tower signal to the alcoholic piece of shit Rollo that he needs to get his ass to work. Fair enough. Wait, couldn't the bell be in the same building as the watchtower? To cut out the middleman. I mean, these guys get paid, right? Or are they just like retirees? Oh god. I haven't even talked to this guy yet, and I can just tell him he's gonna be one of those characters. I'm getting kinda sick at this point of these personalities they felt like adding to the game. They're all wacky and zany and ooh, I'm so goofy. It feels like half of the characters in this game are some kind of mentally challenged people to the point of psychosis, or that they're just high on some fine skooma. You don't have to suffer through the dialogue of all these freaks, but I did. Trust me, it gets tiresome. We meet Favis, and yeah, he's a character.
Greetings, old man. I am Cyrus.
Cyrus, eh? Never heard of you. Must be new around here. My name's Favis. Everybody just calls me Favis, though.
He too tells us that Izara is in bad standing with the Restless League. We really gotta find a way into that den. There's apparently a petty feud between him and Purnell too, because Favis wants to sit atop the tower, but Purnell won't let him apparently, and he moans about the bell not being as loud as it used to be. Purnell has apparently refused for the local handyman called Lakeem to come take a look at it, so naturally we take a look for him. Ooh, wait, nice. That's Purnell's eyepiece. There's nothing wrong with the bell though.
Nothing wrong with this bell. Just the old man's ears that need fixing.
I decide to head over to the cartographer's place, but on my way there I get prompted with a voice line and an interaction I haven't seen before.
I wonder what's in there.
Guards have broken into this place and are fucking it up and trying to kill us. These Empire guards are becoming way too comfortable and are now looting people's homes, it seems.
Too slow. You've lost, Redguard. Yield.
A new dialogue option is unlocked to us now that we've learned about the elven artifact known as the Flask of Lilandril. We own the book now, so I guess Sahir took an interest to this artifact.
Have you ever heard of the Flask of Lilandril?
Hunding's bones, of course I have. Treasure hunters come here from all over Tamriel, digging and poking around interminably. Well, they say there's a treasure map floating around here somewhere, but I don't believe it.
Why not?
If there were a real map, why hasn't someone found the flask by now? Such a waste of time and effort, lusting after a mythical elven flask, when the island is full of real mysteries.
What do you mean?
Well, the caverns, for instance. Haven't heard of them, have you? Or the dwarven ruins either. But they're real, young sir, and as full of mystery and adventure as you could ask.
Where can I find these caverns you speak of?
Now that's the question, isn't it? Won't find them on your cheap commercial map, will you? That's a real mystery for you to ponder.
Tell me more about these dwarven ruins.
A bit more famous than the caverns, but if it's not about elves, no one cares. One of the great mysteries of the ages, the disappearance of the dwarves. But instead it's Flask of Lilandril this, Flask of Lilandril that.
I don't know much about dwarves. I always thought they were mythical creatures.
See what I mean? Not myths. Real. As real as stone and metal. Who do you think built those ruins? All gone thousands of years ago. No one knows why, but that's a whole nother story. What were we talking about again?
There's no entrance to the smuggler's den inside, so I walk around the back and there it is. Fair enough.
What's a password?
Open up!
Sorry, mate, I can't help you.
Gotta find the damn password. While just exploring the surrounding area for clues, we meet the guy Favis was talking about. The handyman, or Mr. Fix-It, as he says himself. The guy he wanted to come fix the bell, which wasn't even broken at all. Lakeen acts very suspicious when I ask if he knows about the Restless League.
What do you know about the Restless League?
Nothing. Who said that I did?
And what does Stros M'Kai hold for you?
I'm what everyone likes to refer to as Mr. Fix-It. I'm cursed by it, actually. Oh, and by the way, if you see a man named Triffic, tell him I'll get to his boat when I have time.
Wait, that's the guy we met at the docks, the second guy we talked to. We'll deliver the message to him when we deliver the monocle to Purnell. Just gotta get into position here, Purnell. Hold on.
Purnell, I found your eyepiece. Here you go.
Well, glory be! How can I ever thank you, Cyrus, my boy? I know! I'll let you wave the flag. It'll be our little secret, eh? Go on, take it! Take it! An opportunity like this don't come along every day.
All right. I think I'll take you up on that.
That's the spirit. You'll soon see what I'm talking about. Nothing like it, I'm telling you.
It looks like he's just dropping it on the floor. You know what, Purnell? You're right. That shit was dope as fuck. Oh, wait. I think I've set something in motion that I wasn't really ready for yet. Okay. When the bell rings, that means a ship is approaching, but there's obviously no ship coming. But Rollo is supposed to come down to the docks to work, and his chest is of interest to us.
B is for the boils, they pop for fun.
One moment.
Quit bothering me.
He has indeed left his house. Okay, that's good, and he hasn't even locked his door either, which gives us ample opportunity to, like, rummage around.
What's this?
Oh, a silver locket. Inside, a picture of a woman and a lock of hair. With who? And is this Rollo's lady? No offense, Rollo, but you couldn't even pull a liquored up Ogrim on a good night. There's nothing more for us here, so we leave. On our way back to Purnell, I stumble upon a shop I haven't seen before, right next to the house that was looted by the guards that attacked us. A silversmith shop, where a lady named Cassandra works. To talk to her, we gotta get into position. Oh, hold on.
Cassandra, hello.
Cyrus, what do you need?
Cyrus can't talk to anyone without being in a very specific position opposite them. Some kind of undiagnosed OCD, no doubt. Like the fact that he can't hold more than exactly 500 coins either. He's a very peculiar man.
I've killed several Imperial soldiers who had broken into your house. I hope that won't cause you any trouble with the governor.
The governor should hope I don't cause him any trouble over this. What possible reason could his soldiers have for breaking into my house? A loyal forebear, of all people, one of his few potential allies in the city. Not a good sign for the Empire's future here in Hammerfell.
I've been told of a smuggler's den under the cartographer's shop. Have you heard of it?
Sure I have. Smuggler's Den. Ha! A pretty grandiose name for a place where the local boys go to get away from their wives and play cards.
So do you think it's nothing more sinister than that?
Well, I've heard rumors it was connected with the Restless League, but they're hard to take seriously if a joker like Lakeen could get in.
Wait, Lakeen is a member, huh? The handyman?
What does Lakeen have to do with the smuggler's den?
Oh, I really shouldn't gossip, but I'm sure you won't tell anyone, will you, Cyrus? Seems he was gambling at the smuggler's den and lost his wife's antique silver locket. He came to me, desperate to have it replaced, so she wouldn't find out. I'd have been glad to help, but I couldn't reproduce it simply from his description. Poor fellow, he went away quite crushed.
Wait, this is his locket too? Yeah, we struck gold here, boys. Okay, let's find him later, because I'm getting sick of just talking to people. I've got a hankering for adventure. I do remember the job we took when we first landed here. To collect that amulet. So let's go there now, to Nagasta. We leave the gate and put Hunting Bay behind us. I travel directly north and I stumble upon a hole in the ground. And I do my best to get down there, but you cannot get down there apparently. I tried everything. Which is kind of strange. Why would you have a hole down there if you can't go down there? Maybe I'm missing something. We follow the road north and see a sign leading us to the right way. I mean, this Nagasta guy must be really important. He has a whole sign for himself. After just half a minute, we are met with a whole barrage of bridges just connected together. And they're falling apart, and wow, I feel so adventurous and epic jumping these gaps. To be fair, this is kind of silly, and it didn't really feel interesting at all, but maybe at the time it was fun. For real though, I'm surprised we didn't fall down any of the holes, because the jumping, like I said earlier, is just so fucking bad and delayed. This place is called the Spine, according to the map, apparently. Which is fitting, because at the end of the line we see a boat, but there's a guy just attached to the boat. A ferryman of some sort. I got kind of curious. I had to look him up, because there's not really any info on this guy. Just that he's an undead creature called the Boatman. And that he takes 3 gold from you to get you to your destination. It's a fucking guy attached to a boat. And his lower body just looks like an exploded ribcage. This is the most unique Elder Scrolls character, and like there's nothing more than 3 sentences written about him on the wiki. Holy shit, that's disappointing. But we pay the guy, and he takes us away to the Isle of Nagasta. If you can hear my voice being a bit different, it's because I have been violently ill. So I am sorry. Yeah, it's taken so long to get this project done, so we're just gonna have to get through this. I'm sorry.
He doesn't look like the talking type. Perhaps I should offer him a fare.
I get the feeling this Nagasta guy isn't really a cheerful dude. This place is just a graveyard where skeletons and zombies try to murder us. Where the hell does this guy even live? It takes some time, but after some looting and killing of skeletons, I find a big structure. The only place of interest in the whole area. I kill a zombie and inspect this door. It's locked shut and whoa, holy sh... That shit jump scared me. Redguard managed to jump scare me. I have truly become weak. Zombies seem to come back after you kill them, but that's not the case for skeletons. So I go out of my way to not even interact with the zombies. They don't even drop any loot either. So there's no point really. I do have a suspicion though. Because I am pretty sure you can use your torch to light the zombies aflame when they're down. And I'm gonna have to look this up. And I'm gonna show it on the screen if that's the case. Because that's like the permadeath for them. And like I said, the game doesn't tell you anything. But I feel like that's what you need to do. and I'm pretty sure I've heard about that. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna show it on the screen. I find another door, like a big panel, but that's closed too. But I walk around the structure and I find a lever that opens this door, and I run in and I loot whatever I can find inside. Some gold, health potions, and a crowbar. Now we're talking. I'm turning into a little old Gordon.
Looks like the crowbar broke.
Oh. I also changed the key bindings at this point to match a more modern game. And it was somehow harder to play with that, but we're just gonna roll with it. After more fighting, we climb the structure and gaze upon what I can only imagine is the Wizard's Tower. There's no way across really, but I cross this statue and I turn a wheel that turns the head of that statue and now acts as a bridge to the tower. Cool. Slowly. And these controls are wild, so we gotta be careful. I don't want to fall into the water and have to find a way up somewhere on the other side of the island. To be fair, the sharks would probably kill me before that. Man, what the fuck is that? That's not a person. That's not even a race we've seen before. And apparently he's not just a fat fuck. He's a slowed. A type of creature that has existed for as long as Nirn has. Mostly on the Somerset Isles, apparently. They apparently used to harass and invade and fight the Altmers, like the High Elves. They were too fat to do it themselves, so they got help by summoning sea beasts to do it for them. Man, that's some lazy ass shit. That's proxy warfare because you're too fat. They apparently did necromancer stuff across Hammerfell up towards the 3rd era, but have slowly just disappeared. It's written in the wiki that they literally become too fat to walk or use tools. And the reproductive organs are just swallowed up by their mass and cannot further care for their offspring or breed anymore and are thus not considered as humans apparently. Man, he one ugly sumbitch.
Cyrus, this one is Nagasta, the necromancer of Stros M'Kai.
Have we met?
The contractor informed this one of your impending arrival.
He did?
This one tenders you the amulet that will be delivered.
To the governor, right?
Make sure of its safety. Delivered to him personally. The contractor will pay you the rest of your fee after the matter is settled.
Ooh, shiny.
Are you familiar with a woman named Azara?
Other souls this one has gathered of late have whispered the name.
She's my sister.
Then count your sister among the living, for she's not cold yet, or this one would know her well.
I'd imagine this island is treacherous to reach by ship.
Imagine impossible. This one is amused by your imaginings.
So you are probably never threatened by the pirates of the Restless League.
This one is never threatened, Cyrus. But, yes, this one knows the League well.
You do?
This one has tallied many of their rebellious souls in the present reign.
What do you think of them?
What does one think of the gold in one's pouch? Does one judge this coin better than another if both spent the same?
All the dead are fair currency then.
Your wit accounts it well.
How long have you lived on Stros M'Kai?
How long in legend? This one arrived in Desad's better years, and was given fair compass of these foul shoals. In that time, this one was but a tale in passing, a shiver in riddle.
How long have you been better than a legend then?
Since the end of the war, how could this one neglect so rich a harvest? A sea so brim with the dead that its tides swelled round the world. So this one conjured a net to catch them all, these lost and torn island souls. Thereafter this one's presence has been well known here, perhaps somewhat feared as well.
How do these souls so collected serve you?
This one's business in souls doesn't concern you. Let the Deadra lords look with favor on a necromancer with a stock in trade. should scarcely surprise you.
What happened to the Archmage?
He perished in the war protecting the crown and was lost at sea. I admit that the snare was not then set, for such a soul would have been fit to cultivate. But night's end.
He was powerful then, this Archmage?
Scarcely. He was noted for his trappings, not his trivial skills. His magical artifacts, however, such might even be worth this one's notice.
No, I'll get right on it. Has the coming of the Empire given you much concern?
This one is neither not unwary of the Empire, nor eager to wear the leash, but the Governor has proven himself an honorable man. Thus this one offers him this gift to encourage his attention to the affairs of the living, leaving me the rest.
You knew the worthy king then. Does he rattle in your bag too?
He died in Sentinel, not Stros M'Kai, and was therefore outside of this one's catching web, and before this one's time here as well.
Right, your soul snare went up during the war, after Thasad was already dead.
And besides, Thasad would have journeyed to the gods in any case, for he was keen and prudent. A few good strides, and he'd be at the temple door.
What difference would that make?
This one snare catches only the heedless. Those spirits unprotected by the holy rituals are those interred in unhallowed ground. So, if you would avoid this one's net, lie close by the temple, or far from the island shores.
You have the island under a spell, Nagasta?
A soul snare of this one's own devising, which gathers lost souls and bears them thither.
For strange and terrible experiments, no doubt.
This one is comfortable with the trappings of his vocation, even if his victims lack such comfort.
My sister had better not be among them.
A being holds as much mystery for this one as it does for you. Inquire elsewhere.
What can you tell me about the governor?
That he is a generous patron, sending a steady flow to this one even with the war long over. His policies bring profit, and finally by the amulet, may his generosity be acknowledged.
What is this amulet you give to the governor?
A red diamond this one has found among many treasures, and judges fitting for a servant of the Empire who might fly such symbols on their standards. And the dragon's setting is well suited to honor the governor, whose command of such a beast gained the victory at Stros M'Kai and blazed Hammerfell in the Emperor's hands.
So the great necromancer is running dog to the lords of hell. Why are they always on the top of the diabolical food chain?
This one laps at the scraps from no unstable Redguard. Clavicus Vile grants this one favors with every soul sent his way.
Clavicus Vile? Please.
Do not mock that name, mortal.
Pray forgive me, Necromancer. It just seemed an overly unsubtle name, that is all.
Deadra were born before stars, mortal. Do you consider that perhaps such names preceded, and perhaps inspired, the concepts they connote?
Goodbye, Nagasta.
Farewell, Cyrus. A pleasure doing business with you.
Back on the main isle, we heal up and rush to Lakeen to press him for information now that we have, well, the locket that belongs to him. Even though we got the amulet, the necklace for the governor, I still want to explore every option we have in town, just so we get this shit done properly. Oh, by the way, I returned a flag to Pernell too. I hope he didn't have a need for it while I was away with it.
Here you go, Pernell. Thanks for letting me borrow it.
Of course, Cyrus, my boy, of course. I wasn't pulling your leg about the flag, was I? Makes life worth living. Keep it at my age.
He tells us to go someplace private to talk, and whoa, watch out, Lakeen. Man, that guy's living on the edge. This is a gambler indeed.
Gambling away your wife's silver locket, not good. Tell me what I want to know. What do you know about Azara, the League, and that den?
Calm down, please. I know nothing. I've only been there to gamble a few times. I've heard the League goes there, but I ain't seen them or this Azara woman, I swear. And if my wife finds out about the gambling, I'll be dead.
Then just give me the password and I'll take it from there.
The password you require is Spoon. Be careful, Cyrus, and thanks again.
We'll talk later.
Oh. Spoon. Okay, I would not have guessed that. Fair enough, I guess. So let's get into this den and see what we can extract.
What's a password?
Spoon.
Right, just a second.
Oh, I was expecting more people and, well, something a bit more impressive. This just looks like a gambling night room for your local single dads. Okay, well, there's a man here. Let's talk to him.
Cyrus.
Yurik. Welcome to the Smuggler's Den. What do you want?
I'm looking for Azara, my sister. Apparently, she did business with you occasionally.
That's right, she came by from time to time. Last time I saw her, she was after a piece of malachite for some reason.
What would Azara want with that?
Dunno. She sure wanted it bad, though. Traded me a League insignia for it. Said I could use it to get favors from the League. Yeah, but since then the League has vanished from Stros M'Kai, so I'm stuck with a worthless piece of paper.
Wait, so he's traded malachite to our sister, and in return he got a Restless League insignia. This could come in handy.
I could use that insignia Azara gave you. Can I have it?
Well, that depends. What's in it for me?
You claim to be Azara's friend. I'm trying to find out what happened to her, and I need that parchment to do it.
I never said I was her friend, just that I knew her. What makes you think I care what happened to her?
Because I know my sister. She would have liked you. She always did have bad taste in men.
Is that supposed to be an insult? Hell, you may as well take it. I can see if I don't give it to you, you'll just stand here talking all day. And I got work to do.
Man, this guy is a major pushover, so we just use our 100 speechcraft skill, so he just hands it over to us without struggle. Man, this is too easy. He hasn't heard from the League in 2 weeks. So something is afoot with them, too. We need to find a way to contact them soon if they're in any way related to Azara's disappearance. Okay, we need to go back. Now that we're equipped with the power of potions and experience, we go back to the dungeon in search for that ring our sister and that brother from the temple wanted to find. After finally defeating those goblins and pushing further into the cave, we finally see what kind of swashbuckling adventure they wanted for this game, because when you're not talking yourself into an early grave with literally insane people, you adventure around by jumping, climbing, and blowing shit up and swinging across dangerous gaps. It's just a shame that every time you do this, it feels so damn bad. The jumping is delayed, you never know when you're gonna leave the ground. The game sometimes speeds up and you don't know when to press the button, and you never really know if you're gonna be able to reach or latch onto the ledge in front of you as you jump towards it. It's really bad, and it's so stiff and weird, and if you jump onto a ledge with a little bit of an angle, you're not gonna be able to get on it. It's just very, very clunky and unreliable. Like, always. It's really bad. And when I think about the fact that Tomb Raider 3 came out the same year as this, I feel like they could have done better, surely. Come on. I guess they wanted to blend Indiana Jones with Tomb Raider, like it's pretty obvious, but it lacks in the adventure department because it's marred. Because you feel like you're never fully in control, and what's supposed to be fun and maybe like sometimes challenging just ends up feeling infuriating and fucking awful. I'm not gonna bring up the gameplay more than this, I think, but just know that it's so disconnected from what you want to do. And it's more frustrating than, like, fun. So after blowing up a ship we find down here, for some reason, we make enough vibration to the walls and ceiling so that shit falls down from the ceiling and we can progress by jumping on these, well, pillars that fell down and we can descend further into the dungeon. Oh, by the way, there are monsters just randomly coming out of the ground that you can barely see, and they take out like half your health. So whenever that happens, it's frustrating, to say the least. Deeper inside this cave, we jump on a cog and it unlocks the first door that we found in the first room, the big door. Nice. Let's just get back on this teleporter to get back there. Through the newly unlocked door, we find a little mushroom kingdom. Let's look around a little. Whoa, holy shit. What is that? That's a troll, obviously. Wait. You didn't see that was a troll? It's obvious, isn't it? Look at it. The graphics are so bad. Okay, it's dead. Good. Just gotta make sure. Oh, fuck, I knew it. It's like the zombies all over again. Let's just go, quick. Oh. Oh my. This shit again. I really hope that the same thing with the zombies doesn't apply with the trolls, like the torch. I'm gonna put it on screen if that's the case, but if you can kill them with a torch, like after you down them, God, that would make my playthrough so much easier. After a few tries, we get across and we climb to safety. There's more of these trolls, so we're gonna have to fight a lot of them. And they're strong too, and blocking doesn't really help much either. We just gotta give it our all and just run and fight when we can. This place is kinda ass, but after looking around, we find a little room with a troll and a wheel. So let's kill him and turn the wheel. Oh wait, the acid river is drained now. And at the bottom lies a goblin who has a bone key. Let's take that from him real quick.
A key made from the bone of some large beast.
It took a long time for me to figure out how to progress from here. The game doesn't really hold your hand, and I'd like it, but at least make a few things a bit clearer, either by coloring the paths or, like, have a light source close to where you're supposed to go. Uncharted Lost Legacy did this very well with the whole rooftop chase section. Like, you ran the right direction every time without knowing it, because they put a simple yet effective way of subconsciously guiding you. Like, lots of games does this all the time without you even noticing. I know this game is old as dirt, but like Half-Life came out the same year, for fuck's sake. Oh wow, now that I'm looking up games that came out that year, I see some absolute bangers. Resident Evil 2, Spyro, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit came out too, Medieval, Fallout 2, Metal Gear Solid, Ocarina of Time, yeah. Holy crap, Grim Fandango too. Redguard never stood a chance, did it? We used the doors that opened up and drained the river to pass. I mean, okay, it's creative and cool, but at least push me there somehow. Because I never thought about doing that for ages. I was down here a long time. After some indiscriminate murder, we find this cage, and it's obvious that the game wants me to jump off this little cage and onto the creature and ride it towards our next destination. It's cool, but it's so hard to get on. I mean, just look at this. I'm gonna speed up the process a little bit, but there's no editing or cuts here. Hey, this is one of the 3 locations that the teleporter takes us to. Cool. Whoa, holy... This is a boss fight. An ogre, according to the wiki. I had to look it up, because I have no clue what this guy is. This guy deals massive damage and takes so many hits. I'm starting to think I'm doing something wrong. I've drank my potions, and I still get my ass handed to me. I shit you not when I say I was here for over 30 minutes, trying to cheese, exploit, and just fuck this guy up any way I could. I looked it up, and apparently you have to do this. Okay. Fine. Creative, but at least show me that the structure is weak, or something like with a dent in it, or some kind of dust effect coming from it, or like anything. I even downloaded the manual to see if it guides you a little, but nope, it doesn't help you at all. This is the only thing it says about the story. You'll stumble onto it at some point. That's not very helpful. Or even true, you get your big fat nose pushed into it as soon as the game starts with the cutscenes and letter. Okay, the Archmage's ring. We got it. The ring our sister and the other brother Kithro, was looking for. Let's report back to Niddle.
I have Archmage Voa's ring, Brother Niddle.
Ah, this will break the stasis field.
Can you use it?
No, I can't, Cyrus. You need a mage for this, not a priest. The magics are unalike in practice.
Okay. We need a powerful mage to break the stasis field. We're not much further along on our hunt, but we got a dope ring at least. A quick visit to the Mages Guild lets us in on what this Flask of Lilandril is and some of the story behind it.
I've heard one of your members got into some trouble with the governor.
I'm not supposed to talk about that.
I've heard that an ancient artifact, the Flask of Lilandril, was lost on this island long ago. You know the piece I'm talking about?
You're not the first to ask. Everybody seems to think the Mages Guild has access to all the land's magic. Sorry to say, the flask has not turned up for centuries. Lost on this island long ago by the elven founders of the flask who were shipwrecked here. They fled Somerset Isle with the flask, hoping to buy sanctuary from the Clandarini in High Rock, but the seas only brought them this far. Some say there's a map to it.
What about this map to the flask?
Well, nobody has seen it. The stories say it was torn into 4 pieces. One of the pieces was even said to have been inscribed on the bottom of a silver box shaped like a ship.
Do you know anything about Archmage Voa's ring?
I'm afraid not.
Do you think Jagenveer knows anything about Voa's ring?
Wouldn't tell you if he did. He doesn't talk to mundane.
Goodbye.
Come back again.
I was wondering.
Don't make me throw you out. Now, leave me.
I go around and ask other people about it too, like my options are getting slimmer and slimmer in terms of what I can do next, so this is kind of the only thing I can do except for finally delivering the necklace to the governor.
I have heard tales of a magical flask buried somewhere on Stros M'Kai.
The legend older than the Redguard. Many have looked and failed, but who can resist the lure of lost treasure? In my youth, I, too, searched for the flask. Luckier than most, for I once possessed a piece of the truth.
The flask is in pieces?
No, my boy. A piece of a map purported to show its location. I say a piece of the truth, but that is only an old man talking. For the map may lead to nothing, even if it was entire.
Perhaps, but it sounds like a worthy challenge. Do you still have the map?
No. Since my house in the old quarter was destroyed, I've stayed in my boat. I risked my life to save that map, and was justly rewarded for my unworthy obsession when it was stolen a few weeks ago. I'm glad it's gone.
Why unworthy? A map to a priceless magical artifact seems like a worthy prize.
And so the Redguards have fallen. The elders teach the young, and who can blame them for learning? The true Redguard risks his life for honor, pride, and spirit.
Ideology doesn't mark the spot, old man.
As much as a lost map it does, mercenary. I saw but fit to warn you against searching for the flask's wealth for its own sake. The world is bigger than your gold pouch.
Yeah, a sword sold is a sword sullied against true cause. Never mind why I want the flask triptych. Lakeen said your boat was damaged by vandals.
By the looks of it. Woke up one morning and the midboard was broken. Hope he gets to it soon.
I stock up on potions and head to the governor's place, and on my way there I remember something weird. That guy on the docks told us to do his quest during the daytime. And so far I haven't seen the sun move an inch still.
I have an item he is expecting from the necromancer.
Very well. Hand it over.
Sorry, but it comes with a message for Richton's ears only. I'm gonna have to see him.
That's not going to happen.
Then he's never gonna see this amulet again.
All right, Redguard. You win. I'll signal you in. This man insisted he deliver the amulet to you himself, my lord. A certain amount of persistence is admirable, isn't it, Dram? Very well. Your job is done. Give the amulet to one of the guards.
Hold on, Governor. I have a few questions to ask you first, about a woman named Azara.
He's no courier.
This is not an audience, sir.
She's been missing for a few months and people think she may be in trouble. They also say you might have something to do with it.
My lord? No, I'll handle him. I know of this Azara, young man. Her troubles are of her own making, I'm sure. When you mix with thugs and murderers...
Like I said, you might have something to do with it.
Under Imperial law, the Restless League and this Azara woman, a known consort and confederate of the League, are guilty of piracy, sedition, and treason, and subject to summary execution. In my capacity as governor, such executions are my responsibility. But this Azara has not come to my notice, and if she has disappeared, she has done so without my help. And now I have other pressing affairs.
Are you saying she was part of the Restless League?
You are dismissed, courier.
We don't seem to understand each other, Governor. Azara is my sister, and this isn't an audience. It's an interrogation. Tell me all you know, or I'll give you more trouble than the League ever has.
You would threaten an Imperial governor? Are you simple? Threaten me, and you prove yourself a traitor, and must die for it. Guards, seize that man. There he is. Put it down.
I can't use this.
Wait, this isn't how it was portrayed in the trailer? Man, these downgrades, it's been happening since forever.
I'm too slow. So this is the Redguard fire I've heard so much about. Young man, you've the makings of a fine swordsman, but by your actions you condemn yourself and forfeit your life. Dram?
No, let me question this one. He is a fool, but fools can be useful.
Why would you just stand there and take that though, Cyrus? You had a solid eternity to just move or step to the side. Come on, man. Because of your fuck up, we're now in a dungeon with some old dying sea dog here to keep us company. He's in pretty bad shape and he says he's part of the Restless League. Okay, that's good.
Where am I?
Beneath the palace. Ancient catacombs. A nice place to rot and die.
Who are you? Why are you here?
And just another League hero. Yeah, but no execution for me. Little torture. Interrogation. Then left to die in this hole. Fooled him, though. Swallowed the key. Got it right here, see? Bit nasty when it came out the other end. Not looking forward to swallowing it again, though. Can't leave it around when they haul my corpse out of here.
We've got to escape. Do you know a way out of here?
I'm going nowhere. Oh, that rack must have broken something. Legs don't move.
Was there ever a young woman down here?
Who knows? Not since I came here weeks ago.
The League? What about the League?
The League? We're a dying breed, man. Like everything else in this town since Rickton came. We may not be much, but we're all that's left.
Rickton said Izara is in the League. Is it true? I must know.
Damn informers. Yes, Izara's one of us. She's on Rickton's list, all right.
How do I find them?
Why? You want to join?
Right, how do I find them?
Well, right after you bust out of here, you go to the lighthouse and signal the League.
Lighthouse, yes, go on.
Lighthouse. Like I said, ooh, getting dark in here. Getting really tired. Here, take this key.
Why? What about the...
Just listen. I think I'm losing. Take the damn key. Don't leave it here. Go to the lighthouse. Signal the League.
What's the key for... What's the signal? Hey, you! Hey! Damn!
Well, okay, that went fast. Fuck. Okay, we gotta get out of here to signal the League somehow, so we can find Izara. So we use the key to move what has to be a 50-pound block of stone. Somehow. How did the key help us do that? You know what? That's fine. It's fine. Cyrus makes it work. We try to escape, but we don't have any of our belongings anymore. We got nothing. But dumbass me thought I still had my sword, since the scabbard is literally on my hip, and I mistook that for the sword. So I end up running around like an idiot until we find a little room with all our shit in it, and some other loot too. And here's the stuff I mentioned like ages ago. Why would you not just put the loot on the tables? There are tables. It only makes sense that they're on there, but everything is on the floor. It's just so strange and unnatural. Now with our shit back, we murder our way through these catacombs and stumble upon something that looks like a puzzle, but we don't have anything to use with it right now. We're greeted with 3 doors, and they all lead to different locations. One leads to a whole new section of people that we need to ice. And at the end, we pick up a little stone with engravings on it.
A rune with 2 lines on it.
The other door takes us to some kind of awful platforming place that has more fools for us to take care of, before we pick up another stone with different symbols. I died here a lot because I've got no more health, and I can't reliably take care of enemies with any tactic for now.
A room with 2 lines and a dot.
The same with the last door. Leads us to some rope slinging action and boom, people to murder here as well. Is this how these guys got here too? Do they have a different entrance? How do they do this with their heavy armor on? This doesn't seem safe at all. Does HR know about this? Christ. But this, in my time of desperation, is where I mastered the combat, by the way. I've been on 5 health for the longest time, and I thought that it was important for me to just find a way to cheese the shit out of this system. So when I present to you the Bambi Shuffle, just block like your life depends on it, and just try to get behind them and hit as much as you can. Walk into them so they'll attack, and just start clobbering away at them, and just repeat. It works every time.
A rune with a line and a dot.
We now have 3 of these little stones, and we head back to the puzzle. I feel so dumb, because I didn't quite know how to solve this, but it was very easy once you just decide to activate your little neurons and just get good. You might hear a difference in my voice, because I am back from being horribly sick, but let's get back into the video. We turn the outer dial towards the icon that has all the little engraved stones on it, and insert them into the hole in direction top to bottom, and then we just pull the lever. A nearby door opens, and we just rush towards it to freedom. Nope, no freedom here. There is a locked door at the end of this corridor though, so we have to get back to the big room we were in, and we gotta get high, man. More killing, more flinging, and more climbing is required to get out of here. We find the lever and pull it, and it opens the locked door. I can almost smell the sea from here now. There's no way down without jumping, and I'm on my last freaking nerve when it comes to this. 5 HP. I can't backtrack either to trace my steps back, because for some reason Sai can't make the jump to hit the rope. I've been on 5 health ever since we jumped across the lava earlier, and I'm starting to feel the pressure. With no way down and fearing I had put myself into a death loop, I get creative. Man, look at that. Lara would be proud of me. You know what? I just ditched the last 2 guards, and while we do, we see a big door of stone that I cannot enter. Like, I tried every key I had, but none of them fit. We'll just have to leave it and come back later.
Governor, I have news of the Redguard. Which bloody Redguard? The one recently put into the catacombs, sir. The one named Cyrus. He has escaped. What? He is nowhere to be found, sir. We are combing the streets for him now. But escape is impossible from the catacombs. The traps and so forth, right, Dram? I hear you.
Thank you, guardsmen. Carry on, and keep me posted.
I underestimated the Redguard.
Bah! Overestimated the dungeons of our enemies, more likely. Never trust another man's death traps. Double the guard immediately, and increase the patrols in town and along the waterfront. The Redguard must not find his sister.
Leave him to me.
Shit, we got a bounty. That's gonna make life a lot harder for us, with every guard around wanting to ice us. We run to our man, Brother Niddle, and get healed, and I stock up on potions. We're gonna need them. We're gonna have to flee town, but not before picking up our payment from the guy who issued us the job with the necklace. We kill 2 guards in front of him, and he doesn't even give a crap. He just gives us the money, and we're out of here. According to the map, there's a little place called Saintsport southwest of here, That place has to have a lighthouse, because this place sure as shit doesn't. These old guys with bells and scopes. We camp some guards on the way down there, and I get sidetracked for a second and find this fatty. Also, this. Some kind of dwarven, like, ancient dwarven structure. It's pretty obvious it's an observatory. Oh god. There we go. You see what I mean? This whole island is just crazy old men. Who the fuck wrote these guys? They were all the same people. When I come to think of it, there's only like a handful of normal, sane people in this game. I'm counting the drunk among them.
Greetings, I am Cyrus.
You scared of him.
What is this place?
What? Place scares me now. Some ancient dwarven observatory. Flash, flash, flash.
What?
Rickon ordered me to fix it, but the ghost TV flash. Awake.
Ghosts? What ghosts?
Flash! Ghost in the lighthouse! Shine in the light! Flash, flash, flash! Then, ran now! Wake the hell up!
He does talk about the lighthouse, and if you've sadly been paying attention, he gives us a clue on how to use that lighthouse. He also says it's haunted. This guy is obviously off his pills. He says Rickton has sent him there to fix the place for some reason. It is an observatory for sure then. Okay. We learn about some of the constellations before we go. We also offer to help to fix this place. He says we need a dwarven gear, but I go down there regardless to see what the damage is. This place is a platforming hell. The bad controls and inconsistent jumping and frame rates made this an endeavor I don't want to experience again anytime soon. But we will. Out of the desert west of Saintsport, I find a huge skeleton. And I've looked this up on the internet too, and I found nothing. And I have no clue what this is. It's even in the promotional pictures on the Steam store page. Could it be a dragon? I don't think so. Maybe. Since nobody has played this game, there's literally nothing of info about it. South of this location, at the southernmost point of the isle, we stumble upon this weirdo.
Ah! You found me! But you'll never take me alive! Die! Die, you fool! I'll never tell you where I hid the gold! Just a scratch!
Like I said, everyone is just batshit crazy. Maybe Stros M'Kai is just like a correctional institute for the mentally insane people. They just don't want disturbing the peace around Tamriel. That theory is becoming more and more likely. I don't find any gold around besides a little scattered around. I'm full up anyways. Like, I don't have any need for more. I cannot carry anymore. And that's bullshit, by the way. Like, don't give me a gold cap. Come on. It doesn't make a lot of sense either. It doesn't do anything but stretch the game longer than it would originally be, because you have to go into town and spend your money before you can go back and collect more gold. It's a very weird system. It's kind of insulting, and I just didn't care at all about it in the end. It's not like there's anything to buy except for a few shitty things and potions, and we don't need a whole lot of potions. I try to dig for gold in one location, and I just leave without thinking a second more of it after it failed. Saintsport. This place looks pretty run down, and it's not inhabited by anyone. Oh wait.
It's mine! All mine! Mine, I tell you! You know too much. Oh, slipped in there, didn't ya? Oh, oh.
5 gold pieces.
Another crazy guy. Ah, come on.
This pyre's been lit recently. Someone's been here.
Wait, what did that old guy say again?
What? Please scares me now! Some ancient dwarven observatory! Slash, slash, slash!
What? Finally, a ship's coming. Time to find out what these pirates know.
Okay. After a few tries, we get it right. Like, this has to be pixel perfect, apparently. It was really, really atrocious to get this done. Wait, one sole lady on a ship this big? How? I guess good on her.
Where the hell is my sister?
And who the hell are you?
I'm Cyrus, brother of Azara, and I demand to know where she is.
I'm the one asking the questions. How did you get into the lighthouse?
One of your men, a prisoner of Richton's, gave me a key before he died of his wounds. And your code is keeping the local crazies up.
Thrown into the catacombs you were. Well, you've been busy. I'm impressed by the escape.
Just tell me where my sister is now.
It is not my place to give you that information. You need to talk to Basil, head of the Restless League.
I know my sister is in the League. Now take me to her.
I'm not sure why I am even talking to you. How do I even know you are who you say you are? I'm going to need some proof.
Proof? Of what?
Proof that you deserve the League's attention. Something that shows me I'm not taking a huge risk sailing you out to the hideout.
I thought I already had your attention. A couple of your boys tried to take the ship I sailed in on.
That was you. Unnecessary raid, I'm afraid. Captain Brennan has been moving a lot of goods for the Empire, but because of your involvement, that's one we'll have to wait on.
Risk. Is that what you're worried about? I've taken 10 lives worth of them. And as far as I'm concerned, talking to you is one of them.
Those are your risks, not mine. Don't lecture me on your life of adventure either. I need nothing from you, and you need my help. I'm doing you a favor by staying here this long.
Here's the proof you've been waiting for. A Restless League insignia from Azara.
I don't know where you got that, Cyrus, but it will do. The insignia, scrawled as such, buys you at least an audience with the League. Climb on board. We're off before the Imperials know I'm here.
Okay, I have to admit something. I've been sitting on a secret. I bought this game on Steam when it was on sale for like $1 or something. Wait, I just checked. I paid full price for this thing. 59 Norwegian krones. That's like 6 American dollars. I was so damn sick and tired of the game running so damn shit and looking even worse. And you're probably looking at the game right now and thinking, damn, yeah, it looks like ass. It really does, but here's a twist. This is the best version of the game. This is what I played for half of the game. Look at it. This is what I played for 9 hours before realizing GOG had a version that used a different renderer. So while you've been looking at this monstrosity of a game, I've basically played half of the game like this. Look at it. So I had to replay the whole game because I couldn't transfer my save files for some reason, and I tried everything. I did this for you. It runs just as bad, but my god, it looks so much better. So everything we've done, I have already done once before, but from here on out, it's all brand new. It's nice to have finally caught up. I feel relieved. Christ. I wanted to continue with the Steam version, but I couldn't do that to all of you. And the GOG version was on sale too for like $1.50. So why not? Don't tell me I don't do anything for you. The Restless League's Den. We made it. A little pirate alcove or cave where they just seem to hide away and plunder any passerbys that come close to their hideout. Like us in the beginning of the game. Man, what a bunch of cowards.
Where can I find Basil?
He's over on West Dock. Just don't poke your nose into what doesn't concern you.
West Dock. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let this play out without much editing.
There's the bastard that spoiled my raid.
That was you? I remember 2 jokers who couldn't handle their sabers, but you must have been hiding.
You see me now, though, don't you?
Vander.
Plain as day, right here.
Are you Basil? You're a hard man to find.
Mystery Maintenance, Cyrus. What do you want?
We don't need to talk to him. Let me...
Listen here, Spotlight. I'm not here for you. I know everything you have to say. Draw your sword anytime you're ready. Where is she?
Wrong strategy this early in the dialogue, sir. The game is to find out what the other one knows first, not show how much of the map you can't read.
Can he die now?
Step off, Shiny. We'll get to that in a minute.
See, I thought you were Azara's messenger boy, which would have granted a longer audience, but you're standing there looking like the last loose end of many.
So, you lead this band?
If you say so.
So you plan to take on the Empire?
Tor did that already and died for it. The Empire won't suffer us to live against her, or a history written without her name. So there's no point to resist so overtly.
How very restless of you.
Let me cut this smartass.
I'm not suggesting the League greet the Empire with open arms. I propose we greet them with secret arms, with subtle stings, with blood and coin spilt in stealth. Sublunar threat. Our purpose is to hint, ever so politely, that there is no profit in Hammerfell, and no prospect of profit. When the Empire despairs of getting rich in Stros M'Kai, she'll turn her hand to more profitable enterprises.
Why are you still preying on Stros M'Kai?
My, how glibly you parrot Imperial propaganda. Perhaps an ignorant tourist like you wouldn't notice that we touch only the Empire's and Richton's ships. Excitable ship owners and Imperial fellow travelers raise a hue and cry against plunder and piracy, but the people of Stros M'Kai know the real targets of our activity.
I've seen the Cyrodiils expanding throughout the rest of Tamriel. You're not going to stop them.
Hark! The wise man speaks! But let me advise you, that's the worst thing you could ever say to Azara when you find her.
If there's no point in resisting, why do you stay here?
Hear that, Vander? The man thinks to probe my innermost thoughts. Should I share with him a list of my heart's desires?
Your list is too long, Basil. I'll tell mine. It's short and to the point.
Your list will be short enough, fool, if you pull that sword on me. I'm Azara's brother, and all my loose ends have led me to you.
She never mentioned a brother.
And she's been part of us for a long time now. And from her omission of reference to you, I infer little pride or confidence in you. A judgment that seems well supported in the course of our brief and none too gratifying acquaintance.
He has no idea where she is either.
Shut up.
He's got the same cordial manners as his sister, that's for sure.
When and why would Azara have ever joined you? Did her association with you get her killed?
There are some who can't admit a demise, who in the face of defeat create theories of retaliation. But the secret of theory is that truth doesn't exist. Azara disappeared appropriately into the very same void.
I hope that meant something to you because it gets me no closer to Azara. I want to know what happened to her now.
Wake up, sucker! We're thieves and we're bad guys, and Azara was a part of it whether you like it or not. In case you didn't notice, we're hiding out here. So it stands to reason if Azara isn't here, then she's in trouble. Don't you think the Empire might be able to help you solve this mystery a little better? You're wasting your time here.
What kind of trouble would she be in?
He can't help us, Basil. It's my turn now.
Come on!
Stupid! Ah! 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 Stupid! 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 You win! I yield!
Man, this is the easiest fight ever. I wish this strat worked on everyone. These guys are total pushovers. He was literally frozen with fear.
You are wounded. Take this bandage.
Thank you.
For your goodwill and my spared life.
Well, you want something?
I'm done with your bully boy. Anna left him alive.
And now the altruistic brother pup wants his bone. First, here's a bandage. Tidy yourself up, unless you were planning to use that sweet little puppy tongue to lick your wounds clean.
You like breathing, Basil?
Fine. Here's the key to Azara's lodge. We've already ransacked the platoons to her whereabouts, but maybe you can find something we couldn't. Clues, particularly in a journal, one we can't open. If you can tell me what's in the journal, I'll tell you what I know about Azara's disappearance.
A diary in her room. Okay, let's go check that out. But first, this random guy wants to fight, which we deal with by borderline murdering him and striking up a conversation. Because why not?
Where can I find Basil?
Basil's over on the west dock. Go speak with him.
He never said which house was hers though, so we're just forced to check every single house in the area.
That's better, much better.
Okay, we're here now. The room doesn't seem particularly affected by any violence or anything of that sort, so that's good. There's only one interactable thing here besides the door, and that's her diary. By looking at the front of it, it's obvious we need to place a gem of some sort in there, a red one. I'll play a sped up version of how long I spent trying to figure this stuff out. I thought maybe it had been knocked out by some rough and tough kidnappers, or that she had hid it, so that some deep, dark, and important secrets wouldn't spill out if anyone were to see. Surely people could just break this open though if they wanted to. Seems easy enough, really. It's not really inside a solid box, and which makes it difficult. The game wants you to use your bloody bandage and wring it out and drip blood down into that little hole. Okay, fine. You know what? Fine. Good. We're at least treated to a cinematic, and trust me, these things are so rare. It's a blessing whenever they come, because it's the only thing that feels truly alive sometimes in this game.
First C26, Common Era, 864. This is my last entry. As I'm taking leave of this maddening torpor, the time to act is at hand. Basil and the rest of his lazy bulls are content to mourn our prince and hide in shadows, even while we have the very thing the governor fears most. For months my love has lain in amber, while the Empire firms its hold. Hammerfell will be lost forever if Prince Ator is not restored. I'm decided. If the League can't shake its slumber, then I will steal the soul gem as they sleep. By morning, I'll be in Stros M'Kai, where there are others who might give me the help I need. Cyrus, the gypsy woman told me you would come to Stros M'Kai. I laughed in her face, of course, but I leave this warning if only for respect of one's elders. If the bloodlock is opened, then I know it is you, and I ask you to heed the next. Leave me my dilemma, and go back to whatever road you love best these days. You've had ample practice.
Where is she?
I don't know. I was hoping this would tell me.
What do you know then?
When Azara joined the League, she changed its face. She gained us the attention of Prince Ator. Before Azara, we were a wild pack of nationalists with sharp swords and enthusiastic schemes. Our wanting reputation kept Ator from announcing an open affiliation, but we worked for him in secret, removing forebear traders on the mainland and killing Imperial emissaries too long lingering at our borders.
And then the war came all the way to Stros M'Kai,
where Ator should have won. He had Hunding's fire with him that day. He would turn back Tiber Septim from Hammerfell forever. The League wasn't invited to join in the battle, for discretion's sake, and we were forced to watch from afar. And at that battle we saw the face of a new empire. They sent a dragon, and no man could stand against it.
It killed Prince Ator?
Ator challenged the beast, but he never reached it. A poisoned arrow from Rigdon's henchman felled the prince just as he rushed headlong to meet the dragon.
What does this have to do with Azara?
As Ator lay dying, his wizard, the Archmage Voa, tried desperately to save his life. The dragon was upon them, and there was little time. Voa gathered Ator's life force into a soul gem just as the fire rained down. The Battle of Stros M'Kai ended then, and Azara's trouble began.
Get to it.
In another story altogether, the League got its hands on the soul gem, reservoir of the prince's power, and the narrative of wishful thinking began. The restless League now had the means to bring back the prince. We could restore Prince Ator from the soul gem, and under his banner, fight the Battle of Stros M'Kai again. This time rightly at his side. And then that little witch took it.
Azara took the soul gem?
And with it the fate of Stros M'Kai. The prince's spirit within that gem was the spark to ignite a revolution. When Azara stole the soul gem, she stole from us that fire.
Where would she have gone with it?
If we knew that, you wouldn't be here right now. The only reason we let you in the hideout was to find out what you know, or what this could tell us. We both seem to still be looking for our answers yet.
I'll be back if you're lying, and I'll spare no one then.
Find the soul gem, and you'll find Azara.
Take me back to Stros M'Kai.
This is bigger than your sister, Redguard! Remember that? This is about the kingdom! This is about Hammerfell now!
Damn fool.
Maybe just the damn fool we need to find Azara and the soul gem.
Maybe so.
You know that if there's anything magical and mystical, I gotta hit up my main man Niddle. Look how swagged up he is in the loading screens too, man. This guy is rad. Now let's ask him about the soul gem.
Brother Niddle, did you know that Prince Ator's soul was placed into a soul gem just prior to his death?
Kithral never told me. I had no idea. And this would explain their search for the Archmage's ring.
How do you mean?
It seems that they were going to bring the prince back to life, so to speak. Just as Archmage Voa preserved the prince's body, he also preserved his soul. The body was dying from the Dark Arrow's poison. It was the only way to save him. Voa separated both body and soul, and protected them both, hoping that he could one day heal the body and restore the prince.
I once again tell him that I have the ring, and some new dialogue just unlocks this time, and it didn't before. I wonder how many other dialogue options I've missed because of this. It makes me feel like I wasn't supposed to have the ring this early on in the game.
I have Archmage Voa's ring, Brother Niddle.
Ah, this will break the stasis field.
Can you use it?
No, I can't, Cyrus. You need a mage for this, not a priest. The magics are unalike in... Besides, you would need the soul gem too, if you are to restore the prince. The soul gem too is beyond my magic. Do you even have it?
No.
The ring by itself will do nothing but turn the prince to dust. You need to find the soul gem to make him whole.
All right, I will.
We also go to the Mages Guild too. Seems the appropriate place to ask about a soul gem.
Looking for something?
Felicia.
Welcome.
What do you know about soul gems, Felicia?
Nothing. Why do you ask?
Don't lie to me, girl. Azara stole the soul gem from the Restless League, and I think she came here with it. And if you don't tell me...
Keep it down, will you? I'll tell you what I know. I'm sorry I didn't tell you before, but Archmage Jaganvir is worried that the Empire will shut the guild down if we are caught helping the Crowns.
I'm not a crown. Azara is my sister.
Fine. Your sister came here with the soul gem. She was frantic and insisted on speaking to one of the upper cabal. She was worried about being followed and needed to restore Prince Ator as soon as possible.
She was going to bring back the prince?
What do you think the soul gem was for in the first place? A keepsake of her lost love? Look, Archmage Voa put Ator's soul into the gem to save him from the Empire. See? Somehow, the Restless League got their hands on it and were using it to rally supporters to win the kingdom back. Anyway, Azara got tired of waiting around for this attack to happen, so she swiped the gem and came here to get things done.
But
Since the Archmage was killed in the battle, there was no one left with enough power to restore the prince. Azara was terrified. Then, one of our members, an acolyte named Jodo, decided he would try to help her and find another way to restore the prince.
Did it work?
Yeah, Prince Ator's behind you right now, making funny faces. No, it didn't work. Azara was here night and day doing research, with Jodo poring over scrolls and spell books to find some clue that would help them. But the Empire must have caught on. A dark elf came to talk to Jaganvir one day, and the next thing you know, Jodo is thrown into the city jail for treason against the Empire.
What happened to Azara?
I don't know if she got away or she was caught along with Jodo or what. He's the only one who could tell you that, and he's rotting away in a cell.
Not for long.
You're crazy if you think you're gonna break into the city jail. The Empire has...
Silence!
Archmage Jaganvir, I was only,
Would you have the Empire put the whole of the guild in chains? Speaking of this as strictly forbidden.
Back off, Sparkly. I was just leaving. I have everything I wanted to know.
You're not leaving until I'm sure you'll never speak a word of what you've learned. And I have a perfect and most satisfying means of ensuring your discretion.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Seriously. What the actual shit is this game? I'm so done. We're an actual ballsack now. And the sounds. Listen. We can even talk to people, but we only talk gibberish. It's a nightmare. I'm so desperate for help at this point. I actually talked to that awful Lady Mariah.
Hello. Don't be afraid. That's very sweet.
Back!
That's very sweet.
Back! Yeah!
Oh, my. What happened then?
She's annoying as ever, and there's no help as usual. Shit, I try my luck with everyone as this freak of nature, but no one can help us. No one can understand us. It actually drove me to look up a guided quest walkthrough on the wiki at this point, to guide me in the right direction. You're supposed to break into the prison while you're this ballsack. Well, it's a gremlin according to the internet, but it's a ballsack. We do just that, though, and we enter the prison. No one seems to be bothered by my presence, though. So we just wander around until we meet Johto, the wizard that was jailed and who knew our sister. That's the friend of Avik, the snake tamer. If you've been paying attention while we've talked nonsense, there are some cohesive stuff in here. If we string together the sentences in certain order, we can utter these words.
You want something from Johto?
Yeah!
Johto doesn't understand. Change! Sorry, Johto can't understand you. Change me. What? Change me back. What? Oh, Johto sees. Jagravir's favorite little trick. What did you do to annoy this Archmage, Johto wonders? Well, Johto take care of this, no problem. Tain somoni ushmatkal. There you are.
Thank you. I'm Cyrus.
Lords, Isara's brother.
Yes, and I'm here because I'm told you can help me find Izara.
Well, yes, like your sister, Cyrus knows where to find trouble. How did you get here? And can you get Johto out?
Maybe, but keys are a problem. And I have a much better chance of getting out of here by myself.
Yes, Johto sees the problem.
But I swear I'll get you out of here if you'll help me find Izara.
Yes, Johto thinks Necromancer has Izara.
How could that be?
Izara asked Johto for help to use his magic to restore Prince Ator from Soul Gem. Johto could not, and Johto knows no other at Guild can help. Johto knows only one sorcerer can do this thing. Nagasta, powerful necromancer.
So you sent her there?
No. Johto not stupid. Johto warned sister. No trust dark warn Nagasta. Powerful, yes, is Nagasta, but wicked. Soul stealer, old and evil.
But Izara would not listen?
No, she is your sister, you know, and she loves the prince, so she must try. So Johto tells her. Johto knows a precaution, protection against wicked Nagasta.
The precaution didn't work?
No, poor Izara, no patience. Johto tells her, flask of Lilandril, old elven magic, here on this island. But where? Flask is lost many years. So we search and search, but few clues, so slow. Izara can't wait. We find one thing, one piece of map. I think it shows where to look, but just one piece.
So she abandoned any hopes of finding the flask and went to the necromancers anyway?
Yes, I think. But Johto keeps looking, and Johto finds other piece of map. But before Johto can show it, Izara is gone. Then Imperial they find Johto and stick him here. But Johto still has map piece. He hides it from guards. Here, I show you. Take this, find flask, then go to Nagasta. Find Izara, there, I think.
You talk too much, cat.
Ah!
Johto!
Find Izara.
Redguard, one way out. Through me.
Bastard, you bastard.
Come, Redguard. Let me shake.
Oh shit, the plot thickens. Good comeback though, Sai.
Bastard, you bastard.
He's actually kind of immune to my tactics. Is the game learning? Is it becoming sentient? Does it feed off my frustration and tears? There is no way to find that. There's no way to find that out, but I did sweat a little fighting this guy. Wait, what the fuck? He just blows himself up and leaves. I assume that's not the last we've seen of him, though. We gotta escape this place, though. Every door is locked, except for the rooftops. So let's get some Assassin's Creed moods going on and let's get to business. Wow, that must be the old district. Nothing left of it, it seems. Jesus. We find our way through what has to be like 20 guards when we reach a rooftop that just collapses. The pieces of the roof falls down, and I think the game is bugged out because, like, I'm down here, alive, with no way out, and our last save was, God. I actually rage quit and come back the next day. We climb down and land at the entrance of the jail, and from here we just kind of book it. So we run through the Dragon Tail Inn to ask Tobias if he can help us, but I can't see him anywhere. He must have set off. Shit. Dreekius is here though, and he's supportive as ever. I kinda like him. It's like he's our little partner in crime without being with us. Man, a companion in this game would have been nice. Dreekius and Sai. I could dig it.
Cyrus, I heard that Lord Rotan got you, but that you got away. Be careful, though. Imperial patrols are everywhere now. Richton's incensed on you. A good lad. By the way, that captain you rode in with was looking for you. Brennan, that's his name. Oh, and Siona wants to see you too. Getting to be the well-thought sort around town now, eh?
I think I got away too easy. Like maybe the governor is watching me, hoping I'll lead him to Azara.
So you saw no sign of her in the catacombs?
There was a section closed off from me, true, but I don't think she was in there. The governor admitted he would have executed her if he knew where to find her. I don't think he cared enough about me to lie to me. I've been up to the Dwarven Observatory. This crazy elf there needs it fixed. I think I can get something out of it once that's done.
Don't know too much about dwarves, Cyrus. Nobody really does. You might want to talk to Lakin, though. He's a bigger dwarf buff than the governor.
Oh wait, that gambler knows about dwarven stuff. Let's see him real quick. Good thing he's just stuck in that place now, probably in shame.
You're good with a wrench and know a lot about these dwarves. Any ideas on fixing the observatory?
If it's dwarven, the answer's in the ruins, and I'm not about to challenge Richton's men up there.
Okay, ruins. Richton's men are there too. Not a lot of help, but good to know, I guess. We haven't even seen these ruins yet. We're just gonna have to scour the map when we're done with Brennan and that lady at the docks. First to stop by the guild and deliver the sad news.
Can I help you?
I tried to free Jodo, but he didn't make it.
I guess I'm sorry for that too. I hope he could help you find your sister.
He set me on the right trail. I need to find the flask of Lilandril. Hello, Siona. Miss me?
Cyrus, don't be such a stranger. By the way, Captain Brennan is looking for you. But if I were you, I'd stay away from him. He's a traitor.
Is there anything I should know about Brennan?
Listen, Cyrus, I happen to be friends with a couple of Fat Boys guards, and I heard them talking about paying Brennan to set a trap for that Redguard the governor's so hot after. Do be careful, won't you?
Wait, a traitor? Oh shit. Okay, we better be cautious on this one. Managed to buy a few potions earlier before we got here, so we should be good. With the knowledge of the upcoming trap, let's be cautious here.
Brennan, I understand you wanted to see me.
Yes, I'm glad you came. But I'm taking a great risk talking to you. You're wanted by the Imperials, you know. Please, come below deck where we can talk in privacy.
So this is the thanks I get for saving your worthless hide. I know all about your deal with the governor. Draw and defend yourself, traitor.
What? You? You were a fool to challenge. Come on, Cyrus. Aye! Aye! I can't believe it. I'm glad we met, Redguard.
Well shit, I'm glad he's taken this so well. He almost seems happy. Maybe this was his plan all along.
Oh ho!
Ah! 5 gold pieces.
Man, only 5 gold pieces. Man, did Cyrus not pay him? This guy's poor. Even though I know it's a trap, I need to just get down and see what's inside this boat, and Imperial scumbags. We teach them a lesson. But there's not much else to do here. Wait, is it just me or did the interior of this boat just grow and isn't like proportionate to the outer shell at all? It's like a Harry Potter tent or something. There's nothing more for us to do, so let's head out and find those ruins so we can fix the observatory and progress. On our way there, we find this little hut sandwiched between two small hills. Some kind of alchemist seemed to have lived here. There's broken bottles and furniture around, but we eventually find some bottles with spider's milk, orc's blood, ectoplasm, and hist sap.
What's this?
There's also a skeleton here. Why would they break in and destroy everything except for these things that seem so valuable, to be honest? Very strange. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but we venture forth. Up the path, there is an excavation site, and wait, holy crap! What the hell is that ship?
Imperial Guards. What are they doing up here? And what kind of ship is that?
I've never seen anything quite like that in any Elder Scrolls game. It seems that the Dwarven ruins are close by because there's a ton of guards here that we just need to put to rest. But I seem to meet a dead end and I couldn't find my way to the entrance. I had to leave it and come back later, and I had to consult my notes. Oh wait, the flask! We need to find the damn flask. The lady at the guild told us Isara left to find Nagasta. But before we can face him, we need to get this flask so we can use it as a tool to help us. I tried to get to the boatman, but he wasn't there for some reason because Isara's presumably used it, and recently. Probably. She's been gone for a while though, so that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Back in town, we gotta start asking questions about this damn flask and a map to it as well.
I think I know why those soldiers were searching your house. The governor may think you have part of a map showing the location of the flask of Lilandril.
Why would he think that? I'd never even heard of this flask before I came here.
I've learned that one piece of the map is engraved on a silver ship. Sound familiar?
No, but I inherited a load of junk when I bought this shop. I put it all in my storeroom next to my house, but I haven't had time to look through it. Here, take the key. If you find this ship, keep it. It's only bringing me trouble.
Wait, Chrysandra might have a piece of the map in her storeroom. That's why the guards were looting her house. We find it in a hidden chest at the end of the room behind some crates. Okay, we're getting there. We should go to the cartographer now. Let's review our items first though.
A used bandage, stained with my blood.
Okay.
A silver boat from Cassandra's storeroom. A piece of the flask of Lilandril map from Jodo. I'll need that flask before I challenge Nagasta. A parchment of Isara's, with the Restless League insignia on it.
I also, on our way, buy the last book that I didn't buy from the librarian earlier about the Dwemer lore. He calls up the Dwemer for some reason, but potato.
I wonder if you can make anything of this. These look like map notations to me.
Let me see. Oh, bloody hell. This again. Jafar must have sold this annotated copy of Elven artifacts 10 times.
Okay, here we go.
And they always end up here. Can you make me a map, they say? Why is everyone so mad over lost Elven treasure? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm too busy today.
I'm willing to pay for the map. Handsomely. Just name your price.
Persistent, eh? Listen. If you'll give me the book, I'll make it for you. One last time, free of charge. At least then I won't ever have to see it again.
Sounds good. When will the map be ready?
Come back in a little while. I'll see what I can make of it.
Well, he'll make us a map. Good. I just need to progress somehow now. I feel kind of stuck. You can actually fuck up that interaction from earlier too, and he'll outright deny making the map for you. This game can be a bit cruel, I guess.
I'd rather hang on to the book. Can I just pay you to make the map?
You're not listening, are you? Elves! 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 Is that all you can think of? What do you know about the Flask of Lilandril? Did the elven ship really wreck on Stros M'Kai? Now, if it doesn't have to do with elves, no one's interested. Well, I, for one, am sick of elves and their oh-so-mysterious ways. Bah, don't get me started.
You say the flask arrived on Stros M'Kai in an elven ship?
Now what did I just say? Out! Get out! Stop asking me about the damn elves!
Maiko, can I talk to you for a minute?
No! Bah! You and your precious elves! Be gone!
It will take some time, so let's just be progressive in the meantime. Wait, Dreekius. He says that a lot of guys are looking for the flask too, and that this Breton in town flaunted about and said that he had a piece of it. Wait, it's that drunk. Let's go get him.
A fist for the fleas that swarm within their shorts.
Ever heard of the Flask of Lilandril? You look like a treasure hunter.
Ah, the flask of Lilandril. Everything good in life comes in a decanter.
I strangely agree with that.
Dreekius tells me you found yourself part of the Flask of Lilandril map.
Oh, he did he? Who? Well, he's lying. Yup, that lizard's lying.
Of course he's lying. You're not bright enough to have gotten a piece of the map.
What? I'm brighter than you, Redguard. I do have a piece of the map. How's that? Didn't think I did you?
That's impressive, Krendel. How could I have doubted you? Tell me, how'd you get it?
You'll like this question, boy. I passed out one night on old Trithic's boat while he was sleeping. Woke up early, looking for a drink, and what do I find under his cot? A piece of the map. He probably doesn't even know it's gone.
I'll gladly take that map piece off your hands if you're not using it. Perhaps a trade.
You have nothing I want, Redguard. Plus, I don't have it on me. I've hidden it away where them sissies can't find it.
Seems like he stole it from Trithic, the guy at the docks. He won't trade for the map, so let's go talk to Trithic before he goes to bed or something. I have no clue if there's a day-night schedule for these NPCs, but I highly doubt it. Oh wait, the sun is actually setting now. Interesting.
I seem to have found your thief. Krendel let slip that he has your map piece.
Did he now? I should have known. Lower even than a forebear, that one.
Perhaps I can get it back. What was on the map?
2 numbers, an X, and the notation long tree. That's all I can remember. If you find it, keep it. I'm too old for such things.
Maybe I can get Krendel to find it for me. Thanks for your help, Trithik.
Wait, he describes the map for us. That's gonna come in handy. Let's go blackmail him a little now.
Whoa! Easy, mate. I could get hurt with that thing.
I have some info that may concern you, Krendel. I heard some boys talking that they had found your hidden map piece.
That's impossible. They're just talking. Jealous of Krendel, they are. They couldn't know where it is.
No, I'm not so sure of that. I overheard them say it had 2 numbers on it, an X and long tree. Didn't mean much to me, but I'd check your hiding spot if I were you.
What? What? Oh, I mean, what? Damn, another lie. Now go away, Cyrus.
He leads us to this garden. Like, the garden. I can't get over it. It's a patch of grass at best. Come on. Wait, so where this drunk used his hands to dig up this treasure, Cyrus has to use a shovel. I can't dig it up with my hands. Man, Cyrus is a wimp. And there we go. Another piece of the map. I don't think we need any other pieces after this, to be honest, so let's see if the map's ready.
A leather pouch, and here's Trithic's map piece inside.
I don't think we need any other pieces after this, to be honest. This seems like the full map. So let's see if we can get the full one from the cartographer, so we don't have to piece this one together.
May this map serve you well, young sir.
It tells us to start in Leki. Or by Leki? I had no clue what the fuck that was. Or is. So I had to Google it after like almost half an hour of just wandering around the map trying to find it. Leki is the goddess of aberrant swordsmanship and divine daughter of Tall Papa? Okay, let's not get into that right now. Okay, well, this is where you need to go. And that lady in the damn ceiling, where no one would ever look, that's her. How are you supposed to know these things? I don't think any of the books cover this. Wait, did I miss out on some dialogue somewhere? That might be the case, but I feel like I've combed this island pretty well. Well, we're here now, so let's follow the map pieces that we found. It takes some time, but we eventually find the X that marks the spot.
Magnificent! What's this? It's the mythical flask of Lilandril, which absorbs magic. My only hope of rescuing Azara from Nagasta.
I went back to town to boast about me finding the flask, but there's literally no dialogue option to do so. You can't talk about everything and anything, but this major and important thing, plot thing, you cannot mention it to anyone. That freaking sucks. Let's see Nagasta now.
Come, Cyrus. This one has what you see.
Rin. Whoa, holy shit. These guys fucked me up the first time when I entered. They're apparently something called Vermai, but they sure don't look like their Battlespire counterparts. The next time I come in, and I come in with strength and iron skin potions, like up to here, and it went okay, because you can't block these guys. You just have to attack. You cannot block them. We find a little study with the cauldron inside of it. Grabbing a vial close by, we fill it with the contents of the cauldron and soon find out that it reacts with the liquid in the hole in the ground. We also find this slaughtering table. That's fucked up, Nagasta. Not cool. It doesn't take a rocket surgeon to find out that we need to time and jump on the explosion that builds up from the reaction of the vial's contents and the hole in the ground. So we can jump and reach the upper walkways, and we do so. And it was a pain in the ass to do, but we managed to get up there.
Azara? What's wrong? Azara? What's happened to you? Snap out of it, Azara! What have you done to her, Nagasta?
Azara just another entry in the Ledger of Lost Souls, Master Cyrus. She belongs to the Great Lord Vial now.
What have you done to her?
She pledged her soul to this one in return for services, and since she had no immediate use, this one gifted her to Lord Vial.
What pledge? What service?
Azara came thither 3 months ago, leading this one to help her free Prince Etor from the Soul Gem. The dim child had even brought the Soul Gem with her. This one told her the deed might be accomplished, but knowing the eagerness of a client, this one was quite candid about the high price of such services. In return for her soul, this one agreed to free her beloved Prince Etor. Perhaps you will count my fee too dear, but cannot the client misjudge the true value of his service?
Worm, if you will restore her to me now, I give you my word I will not allow myself to bring you harm.
That is quite impossible, of course. Her soul is long since delivered to Clavicus Vile, patron Deadra Lord, within whose distant realm your sister's soul now resides. This one admits to have been dilatory in his part of the bargain, for the prince's life force rests still within the soul gem. The very soul gem that adorns the amulet that you delivered to Lord Rigdon. Ah well, this one has ages ahead to fulfill the bargain, and it seems petty to deny Lord Rigdon the pleasure of wearing his defeated enemy's soul like a trinket, don't you think?
Worm, restore her now!
Or
I will kill you more quickly than you deserve, and just talk to Vile myself.
Now, let your sister serve as a walking, talking cautionary tale, Cyrus. Would you repeat her mistakes by trifling with this one? And you propose to browbeat my lord Vile into relinquishing your sister's soul. Surely consider this.
Vile is my business now. You have other things to worry about.
Really? What might conceivably trouble this one?
The question is, does your soul get caught in your own soul snare after you die, or does it just get to go straight to hell? Let me help you find out.
We have to use the flask to fling his magic back at him, and it seems to be working. Oh, wait, does that mean he's dead? He just melts. Wait.
Izara? What's wrong? Izara, this must be the spell Nagasta used to reach Clavicus Vile. I need to use it if I'm gonna save Izara.
The jacinth wakes the rising sun, and snow blankets the grass. But night overtakes the midnight sky, and the gates is opened lost. So what it wants you to do is walk around the room and mix your bottles with what we found in the little shack in the wilderness, or the ones that are on the shelves, just in case you didn't find that shack, with the ingredients around the room. They need to fit the little jingle. To me, this was very confusing. You had a Deadra heart, a purple salamander, Spriggan's ear, a piece of amber, saint's hair, unicorn horn, lich dust, dried up sack from a pig. I eventually just gave up and drank the contents of the flask, and like the ectoplasm and orc's blood, hissed sap, and spider's milk. Just complaints.
Damn, that's foul.
And help me out here, Sai. Jacinth is a form of yellowish red stone, which I didn't know. So it wants me to mix amber, jacinth, with orc's blood, that being the rising sun. Okay, done. Snow blankets the grass. So that's apparently the unicorn horn, because it's white? I fucking guess. And the green grass is supposedly hissed sap, because... green? Okay. I see the pattern now. It's color-coded. Okay, the last one should be easy then. But night overtakes the midnight sky. Something black, because night, right? You would think so. Idiot. You fucking cretin. It's the Deadra heart, you Dumbo, you smooth brain. You didn't know that, did you? I swear to God, this game is so confusing. And as soon as you think you know how anything works, it just flips and does something completely random to fuck with you. Oh, would mix the Deadra heart and ectoplasm because of the blue sky, I guess? Not a rainy day, I suppose. Just have to assume it's a good day. There. Now we have to just pour the shit on that ground, apparently, and we are off. Okay. Now we're in some kind of jolly high fantasy land. This is very strange. I guess that's Clavicus Vile, and... wait, that's his home? Does he live here? I thought that Deidre would like places that would make, like, Darth Vader blush.
Well, I'm so glad you could come.
So this is what the Deidra lords do in their free time? Trade souls? Destroy lives? Loaf in the sun?
You poor, poor thing. All our time is free time. It's eternity, man. Don't you think that gets a bit tedious? Mostly it's the same thing over and over, so boring. But you, well, you kill your sister's husband. Then let her lose her soul. Then you come here and threaten to beat up the big, nasty Deidra Lord to get her back. Well, it's stupid and silly, but it's not boring.
Let's not forget our manners and give the doggy some love.
Nice dog.
It's not a dog, of course. On sunny days, he likes being a dog, or lots of other things. When he's like this, I think he's somewhere else. It's all quite significant, of course, but who knows what it means? Interesting. I think he likes you, Cyrus.
What do you want? Why are you doing this? Just for the fun of it?
A follower of my brother, Hermaeus Mora, once said, "The ultimate purpose of the Deidra Lords is to instruct and improve the generally deplorable character of mortals." Lovely sentiment. But in fact, I watch mortals and meddle now and then, purely for entertainment. Nagaste in his time has been a character of remarkable charm and complexity. But now you have eclipsed Nagaste, and I have high hopes for you. For example, you come all this way to rescue your sister's soul. Why? Yearning for a lost childhood? Pricks of conscience for abandoning your sister? A murderer's guilt?
I feel no guilt for killing Azara's husband, Vile. But running from the consequences, I'm not proud of that. And I'm not leaving her this time.
Yes, that incident is hard to explain, I agree. Poking that scoundrel through the chest and taking off like a spooked bunny?
Yes, I left. But Azara could always take care of herself. I just ran. I was young.
She's not taking care of herself now, is she? Ha! And did you judge she could take care of herself when you presumed to poke a knife through her husband's chest?
Vile, I don't care whether you're bored or alone. This talk isn't getting us anywhere. Just tell me, what do you want?
I'm really sorry to lose Nagaste. He always had presents for me.
You like presents, eh?
Got to have presents. No presents, no fun. Sure wish I had a nice present. Hint, hint.
I'll give you a fortune in gold.
You haven't got a fortune in gold, Cyrus. And gold is just metal. Not interested.
I'll give you this priceless flask from my sister's soul.
Oh, Cyrus, a present for me? You shouldn't have. But thank you. It's a unique addition to my justly famed collection of enchanted artifacts.
All right. You've got the flask. Give me my sister.
Cyrus, I didn't offer to make a trade. You gave me a present. I'm happy with my present, feeling generous. So, let's speak in earnest of your sister's soul.
I'll give my blood for my sister's soul.
Blood is nice, but your blood is not worth a soul, Cyrus.
For the last time, Vile, what do you want?
Don't spoil the fun, Cyrus! You're supposed to figure it out. But here's a hint. I've got what you want, so...
I have no present for you, Vile, but I do have something to trade. My soul.
Cyrus, I appreciate your making this grand gesture here. I admit I prize your sister's soul quite a bit, but your soul is an unproven commodity. Valuable, yes, but not an even swap. I was thinking of sport, not commerce.
You're bored, Vile? Then let's play a game for my sister's soul. And to cover the wager, I'll offer my soul.
Very noble, Cyrus. But do you know anything about the worth of a soul? For example, all the fun I'm having with your sister's soul right now, I'd hate to give that up.
Your name is well chosen, Vile. But I know the worth of my soul, and I'm ready to wager it against my sister's soul.
Are you sure? You know, that thing I'm doing with your sister's soul right now? I'd love to do that little thing with your soul, too.
You can't scare me, little man. I said I'd bet my soul, and my word is my bond.
Pity. Even a dumb animal can understand fear, but you, Cyrus, sad. However, a poor game is better than none. Let's play then, for your sister's soul. But before we start, there's a couple of things we need to get straight. Your soul's not worth a penny unless you know its value. Nagasta knew a soul's value, but you do not. So I have to explain it to you. First, you think you lose, you die. And that's the end. It's not. You lose? You live, and your soul is mine, just like your sister. And it goes on for a very long time. Understand?
I understand, Vile. Let's just get on with it.
And last, when your soul is mine, your will may defy me, but you do what I want. You're here of your free will, so let me demonstrate. I'd like you to apologize for being so rude and to humbly beg my forgiveness.
Lord Vile, I apologize for being so rude, and I...
Come on, Cyrus, don't fight it.
Humbly beg their forgiveness.
Think nothing of it, Cyrus. There, that was excellent. Now, won't it be fun if you lose your soul? Practice makes perfect, and you'll have plenty of time to practice. And now that I have your complete attention, you're ready for your test. But before we start, Cyrus, did you have a classical education?
You're talking to yourself, Vile. I'm ready. Let's go.
Good, good. Just checking. Just that a thinking man, a well-educated man, might have an unfair advantage in this test. But no, you're a hero, a man of action, right? So you probably won't recognize this old chestnut, taken straight from Paulus's The Stars on the Shoulders. Ready? Listen carefully. I won't repeat it. 2 doors. One leads to the loss of your soul. The other leads to the return of Azara's. two guardians. One always lies. One always tells the truth. You can ask one of them just one question. Just one. The game begins. Choose wisely!
It's important that you make a save here. I am not joking. There's no trick to this task. You can't wander around and find a clue that will magically help you. You cannot enter the house, and you can't do anything else. This creepy dog thing won't help you either, by the way, and the only thing you can do is to ask the right question. And the correct question is, which door would the other say is correct? It kind of plays off and cancels each other's lying and being truthful thing. It means that the right door will be the right one. That makes sense, and it's kind of cool too.
Which door would the other one say is correct?
The left door.
Not such a blockhead after all. But I don't think you've seen the last of me, Cyrus. I've got my eye on you. And playing games with Clarigus Vile, Cyrus, is just like breathing. Once you get in the habit, it's kinda hard to stop. Be lucky, Cyrus. Until we meet again.
Oh, well that's kind of cool. If we get to face him, like, again, but I doubt we'll see him again. Hey, but maybe in Redguard 2, though. Oh boy, I can't wait.
Where am I?
You're safe, Azara.
Is it you?
I'm afraid so.
Where's Nagasta? Is he dead? Where's the soldier?
Azara,
I have to get back to the League.
But...
What have I done?
Azara!
Are you coming or not? Caught up already, have you?
Shut up. Azara.
Do you plan to stay this time?
Yes.
Because you could run again.
Yes.
It wasn't your war then.
No.
And it's not your war now.
No.
And if you expect anything more than that right now, you can go to hell.
That's just great, Azara.
Don't give me that. Even if we still had the soldier, we'd be in the same place. You'd still be hiding in this cave, and Rickton'd still be in our prince's palace.
There's a difference between hiding from the Empire and biding our time.
We're losing time.
You lost the soul gem. What now, girl?
I know where it is.
Yeah, huh?
Rickton has the soul gem.
You've seen him with it?
I gave it to him.
How could...
I didn't know what it was. The necromancer had it fashioned into an amulet, a gift for the governor. He needed someone to deliver it. I did, thinking I could somehow get to you.
My heart just broke. Yours too?
1,000,000 pieces.
We'll just have to get it back.
We'll be killed as soon as we step onto the shore.
Cyrus is right.
What's the point of being condemned as rebels in arms if we never take up those arms against the Empire?
We?
I tell you, Basil, and hear me well. Whether you like it or not, I'm in this now until the end.
I'm not sending my men to Stros M'Kai. Soul Gem lost or no, Hammerfell needs us alive.
What good are you, Basil, if you do nothing? Are you afraid of shedding a little blood?
Here it comes.
You speak grandly of spending blood that is not your own, sire. As for the League, we do what we can, even in hiding. We're pirates, man. The purest form of sedition. To thieves, snares, slit the throat unbeheld. The ever-resident thorns, keeping all sides of guard, alleviating every inertia with our own. Our raids force the Emperor to garrison Stros M'Kai and tie up ships and men here. And our piracy hits Rickton where it counts, in his gold purse. If he doesn't squeeze this province for the profits the Emperor demands, his head will roll.
Don't forget the dragon, Basil. Because that's the thing you really fear, isn't it? The Battle of Stros M'Kai hung in the balance until the governor called in his dragon, right?
Well, there's that too.
I'll take care of the dragon.
Big man.
Can I feel your muscle?
Rickton probably has the dragon guarding the Soldrum in the palace treasure vaults.
Where are they?
You can enter them through the catacombs, but you need the key.
Where'd you get this?
The prince and your sister were good friends, Cyrus. The treasure vaults were to be her jewelry chain.
I've had enough of your chatter, Basil. I'm going to find the gem, and then I'll find somebody who'll bring the prince back. When that's done, should I tell him to expect your aid or not?
I expect you'll have just as much success as your sister had, Cyrus. You can hardly do any worse.
I'll go with you.
2 weeks still. Look, I've done well enough to this point. I can finish this. For you.
For Hammerfell.
Fine, for Hammerfell. When I have the soul gem and somebody that can break its magic, what should I do?
Send us the signal and we'll meet at the temple. Brother Niddle has the Tor's body hidden there.
Redguard! When you have the prince, you have his men.
I should help you.
You're too well known on the island. The Imperial...
I can handle them.
And you will, after the temple. I won't fail you. Not like last time.
Look, let's get this straight. You murdered my husband and ran away. On one day, you robbed me of the 2 people I loved and trusted most in the world. Hakan was not much of a husband, but you were not, and you are not fit to judge him. Nor am I fit to judge you. You're guilty of gods know how many crimes and cruelties, not the least of all what you've done to your own flesh and blood. But whatever harm you've done to me, I forgive you. You're my blood and younger brother, and I can do no less. But if you trifle with the affairs of the League, and with the fate of Hammerfell and her people, then run away like you did last time, I will find you. You are a charming, vain, self-absorbed child, never thinking of anyone but yourself and your own profit. But if you take up this thing, you will see it through to the end, or I will kill you.
I am going to find that soul gem, and I will get your prince back. Izara, I know what you think of me. I'm not proud of what I've been, but something is happening here, and I don't really know what I'm saying.
Then don't say anything. I'm not interested in your words, Cyrus. It's enough to have you here. I just have to believe that you'll stay when I need you.
I will finish this.
Wait, why do I get romantic vibes between Sai and his sister? Is it just me? I think it's the music that's messing with me, but the way they've written them just makes me think they're gonna like go all Lannister on each other. It's sick, but don't tell me you're not feeling it too. Okay, let's get back into the dungeons. Now we can unlock that door that we couldn't before in the catacombs, and the guards we ditched are still super pissed off. It's been a whole day, man. Like, just let it go. Anyways, we murder and fight our way deeper into the catacombs, but need to restock our potions and stuff, so we head back and we do that. And then back again. We have to solve puzzles dealing in pressure plates and moving structures and the like, but I won't go through them with you because this video is like already way too long already. So just take my word on that. I spent a solid hour down here. Well, here we are, the treasure room. It has to be in here somewhere.
What's this?
A little privacy.
A little candlelight, and the pleasantries begin. My name is Nephalalagus.
So, you're Richton's pet, then?
You wound me. Richton's pet is that dark little thing with the poison splinters. I am Tiber Septim's proud soldier, loyal vassal, a jewel of the crown. It's not my fault I have to keep company with the governor.
You have something I need, Dragon.
I shan't lie to you, good stranger. My imperial loyalty is indeed well paid for. We aren't very different, I would venture. You seem the mercenary sort too, so you'll understand if I do not readily agree to part with my latest reward.
Maybe we can bargain for it.
I so do love mortal fantasy. I'll play along. What will you give me for the soul of Prince Ator?
I'll spell your name right on your tombstone.
Okay. I'm not kidding you when I say I spent 7 whole minutes like this. I thought I had him. I thought I had him in like the cheese mode. But you can't kill him without using the fire and the little brazier type thing. You have to use, and hear me out on this one, because it will only make sense. Fire. You have to use fire to kill the dragon. That's making no sense in my head, but none of this game has so far. So we trick him over here, and I beat the shit out of him with my hot sword, as you do, and we finally get our victory. There's no loot either, except for like some gold, and we can't even bring back a trophy for killing Nephiliarch. Oh god, I have not prepped for this. And we can't even bring back a trophy for killing Nephiliargus. That's fucking dumb. But we get the soul gem, at least. Wait, didn't Agasta say that the governor was supposed to wear this around his neck? Why is it down here? I guess he'd want to do it for revenge reasons, since the prince's soul is in there and all, but still, weird.
Dead. Aye, my lord. The dragon is dead. And he's alive. We are not sure it was the Redguard, my lord. Don't be stupid. That bastard sweats heroism. It could be no one else.
He has the soul gem.
Why do I pay you exactly, Dram?
For my chilling countenance, of course.
Leave him to me, you said, and with such confident assurance. I recall being set at ease about the matter. I recall thinking, well, now at last I can get down to the task of administering this troubled province. But this young man continues to cause us irreparable harm when we can least endure it.
And now for the good news. Perhaps you remember the vicious group of rabble that's caused us so much trouble.
The Restless League!
Whose hideout would have remained a mystery if a prematurely dead Redguard had never led me to it. It will take time to assemble an assault party, but I foresee no difficulties in cleaning out the whole League in one well-planned attack.
I see. The Emperor warned me never to underestimate the subtlety of your schemes, Drab. Carry on, then. I await your full report.
As we escape and we murder a dozen guards, I run past the Yakuden family and I come to remember that the mother is a powerful mage who deals in souls. And we need a mage who knows soul magic. So I need to help their son and ask her a favor for later. The observatory needs that cog, and where else would I find that other than a dwarven ruin. I scoured the land and I finally happened upon a path leading up to the mountain where I figured their excavation might take place. I'm not gonna lie, this will be a damn speedrun of an explanation because I spent a solid 3 hours on this. I want to rest now. We find the entrance and we find a lot of strange locations, statues and mechanism. It leads us further down into the earth and past large dwarven contraption. It almost reminds us of ballistas. Ballistae? Let's just cross here and get the fuck out. Whoa! Okay. Wait, upon further inspection, these are ballistas. With one single shot, we make ourselves a point to swing up on so we can cross. Smart. This path leads us down to this dwarven scarab, where we need to assemble and change its parts so that it will open a door that is close by. This was a nightmare because I wasn't aware that you had to step on the pieces to make them fall down or change. I know I said that I like games that don't hold your hand, as if I'm gonna fall off into space if it doesn't, but at least give me a hint. That would be nice. Like a little schematic on the wall or some shit. Like anything. Well, we open it after like 30 minutes. I swear to God, half of this game is just me trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do. Like with the lighthouse too. I know this isn't a part of this section, but you have to do exactly what the game wants you to. Not flash, flash, flash. Not flash, flash, flash. And not flash, flash, flash. It wants you to go flash, flash, flash. You gotta do it pixel perfect. It's kind of insane. When I played it on the Steam version, I actually gave up because I thought I was doing something wrong, like 2 times. It's maddening, and enough to drive an honest man like myself to drink. Half the game is just wandering and wondering if you're doing anything right, and it's getting very tiresome. We exit and fight with our first Centaurian sphere, but also called Dwarven Robot in this game. He's not much harder to fuck over than any of the other creatures of this game. After traveling along the bridge, the one we saw the foot of earlier when we found a dead end, we are met with another puzzle. This one is fairly easy to get sorted because, look, they've given us hints. Wow, it's almost like it's getting fun now. Hell yeah. There was one part of this that made me frustrated, though. And that was these 2 pipes that weren't connected. There's nothing around that signals you to maybe connect them. You have to climb on top of the whole structure to do this. We all sort it out eventually, and lo and behold, the ruins are powered now. And it might give us an opportunity to continue our journey inside. As we power up the place, the other robots inside have woken up too, and we have to worry about those too. You know what? Fuck that. I just run past everything because that old mother can't be chanting for much longer, surely. She's been at it for weeks. We jump and climb and swing to a place that wasn't available to us previously, and it leads us down to a hallway where this guy awaits us. I got no fear in my heart, and I run in there and I beat the shit out of him. But before I do what's logical, I'm gonna try to see if I can replicate the boss fight with the ogre down in the ruins by the waterfall. No chance of that, so I just start hammering away, and I'm kinda nervous now about how much damage he's gonna deal to me and how little I'm gonna chip away at his... Oh. Oh wait, that's it. I didn't take any I didn't take any damage. You know what? I'll take it. We gotta hurry. That's the biggest boss fight we've fought. Maybe a bit smaller than Largus, but come on. This guy's made out of metal, and he's got a wrecking ball for a hand. He should have splattered me on the ground or flung me across the damn room, but I guess my little sword was no match for this guy. You know what? Fine. He drops the gear we need out of his ass, and we leave to fix the gear. In the cellar of the observatory, we do the same song and dance as we did before and place the gear where it's supposed to be. The observatory works as follows. We can step on the signs of what constellation we want to focus on. This machine comes and then picks us up We can then look through the telescope and investigate the stars, but for every constellation there are 3 angles: downwards, middle, and up. This will allow us to find the constellations we are looking for, though we only need to find the snake in this case. I hate this section because look at this. Every time you get picked up by this lift, you need to jump across to the wheel that adjusts the height of the telescope. Then you need to jump back to see if you've found something. And mind, if you fall down from here, you fucking die. That's it. It's so far up, so you need to do this 3 times every single time you're looking for a new constellation. The most fun part of it all. There's no way to lower this lift that I have found. Nobody else that I've seen either play this game. After I completed it, I looked it up. Nobody has done it. In the 2 Let's Plays I found after completing the game, they did just what I did. They were holding onto the platform and just suffered the damage dealt when just dropping down. We find the snake after ages of doing this, and I line up where it's supposed to be by looking at the constellations in the roof. Cool. I'm noting this down. Got it. Now let's go save some souls. So line them up like so.
You've done it, Cyrus!
Trodurahai.
Hi, it's the Redguard!
Sura, Mongdua, Uitonga, Hali, Ugo, no Midana.
She thanks you, Cyrus. Hale's soul has passed to the far shores.
Tell her it was my pleasure.
Uhaidu, Sura.
Tang Mongodua.
She wishes to know if there is any way she might repay you.
Maybe you can help me find my sister Azara.
Sura, na Pierre Sadodongo.
Hadi dua tengai.
Mother has not seen her since the day she came with Hale.
Badoi, Dopa.
But she sees that you will find her.
Do you plan to stay here on Stros M'Kai?
Duadra Nasadul San Loamakai.
San Loamakai, Tangten Utanon Mango.
Mother says Stros M'Kai will need her help.
Then do, Sura.
And yours.
Mitana, then Nogo.
The island is still in peril.
Why was Azara with Hale?
Then Dogo Tuktahali?
Dogo Tang Mongo, Sura. Then Hai.
She needed Mother's help. Her magic.
Dua Senugakta.
But Mother was so mad about Hale that she sent your sister away.
Uto Nogo Dua Hai.
Mother does not know what magic your sister needed. I'm sorry, Cyrus.
What kind of help can you give?
Zwanateng no go.
Sura then go.
She says you will know.
It will be hard to fend off the Empire.
Septum sogat kolotohai.
Setigoa Nogo Uitonga then.
What did she say?
Sometimes Moyoku is bad. She said either it will not be hard because the sun is here, or she said because the sun will be here.
What can you tell me about soul gems, Saban?
Hangbai Teki Matana?
Patiki Matane Denturahai.
They are older than the Eastern secrets.
Uitamatakti Matani Tongahai.
Soul gems are tricky magic.
Uhi Dumakai.
It takes a powerful sorcerer to use one.
Are you that powerful, Saban?
She is.
Saban, I need your help with this soul gem.
Petiki de Nogronung.
Do you have a body?
The soul is Prince Ator's. I have his body.
Is it ready?
Yes, it's at the temple.
Dwadratu Wacha Balagra. Sandogo Arke.
Don't worry, I can sneak your mother past the guards.
I'm going too.
No, I need you to get the League.
Really?
Yes, but we have to hurry. Go to the lighthouse and signal for them. Tell them it's revolution time!
What's the signal?
On, flash.
I can't understand any of that, Cyrus.
Just kidding. I'll tell you on the way. Tell your mother the plan.
Santhanga betiki tuwaka nohai. Nodogo duptralik. Sensogat kalugo.
show me, show me, show me, show me. Oh, cookie, Nora, Nugara, Tutoro, Nogo, Go, Duaka, Nogo, Duaka, show me. Iki Matana Sura.
The soul gem. The ring.
Train no more.
What is it? Did it work?
Aturno Mangai Sura.
I'm sorry,
What's
Cyrus.
wrong? What happened? What did you do wrong?
It didn't work.
What now, Redguard?
The sword.
Oh, Tatene.
His soul is in the sword.
Mother?
How did this happen?
Aturno Mangai Sura.
She doesn't know. It was...
Who cares how it happened? It's over, Cyrus. We can't follow a sword. You failed us. We're through.
Is this how you will honor your prince, then? Cautious I've thought you, Basil, but never before a coward. We all have waited for the prince's return. Now that he has returned, you walk away. The form is different, true, but his spirit is here. And isn't his spirit the truest part of him? Did it occur that maybe he chose this shape and symbol as the sign of his intentions? Perhaps that soul in hated delay snared helpless in a jewel while his men hid and shirked their duties, his duty. Perhaps that soul honed itself to this and by no mistake comes to you now in no more fine and final form as this. A sword. You say you cannot follow a sword? Well, I say that you have strayed from your own too long. Why are you here but to fight? Your prince has shown you the manner of his purest metal, and metal itself. And this true, unerring razor's message is clear beyond words, for now's not the time for words, but for brave hands, bright swords, and blood. Aye, boys, it's about blood now, too long frozen in your veins. And you'd rather yourself be rigid than follow me. Well, if you won't, then shamefully know that your prince will. For his blood be solid too, but strained to steel and tempered in death. Arise alike as he, as swords as we are crowns alike as he. The prince is dead. Long live the prince!
What shall we do?
You shall secure the harbor. We can't have any more of them coming in. Once that's done, take it to the Imperials still left on the water. When they see the harbor is ours again, they will make sail for the mainland.
What about you?
I'm going into the palace to kill the governor.
You can't do that alone. How will you get in?
I won't be alone. And the prince shares secrets.
Let me come with you, Cyrus.
And you aren't going without me.
No, you help Basil and the League take the harbor. If we storm the palace, Rickton and his men will dig in. It has to end now. With the League running amok in the water, the palace will be near empty as they try to stop you. I'll reach Rickton easy and remind him whose seat is the throne of Stros M'Kai.
They'll hear about this in the rest of Hammerfell.
Then let's make sure it's loud.
What? Wait. Okay. Where did he learn that this door does this, exactly?
The assault ship is ready, Lieutenant. The men are aboard. They'll never see us coming.
I'll inform Lord Rickton.
What was that?
He's here.
They're attacking the harbor.
Who is?
A mob of them, Governor. We were caught off our...
The Redguard's behind this. I know he is. He's here. He must have found some new friends.
Get that Redguard. Take their leader and they'll fall to pieces.
The dirigible is ready. Shall we begin the assault on the Restless League's hideout?
Forget about the League, Dram. We must evacuate.
But
who do you think is attacking the harbor, man? It's the Restless League. They're blowing up our ships. That Redguard, the one you were supposed to kill a long time ago, he succeeded in sparking the rebellion we were sent here to repress.
We don't.
Enough. We'll take the dirigible and make for the mainland. Stros M'Kai is expendable. The Redguards may have their day here, but I will return at the head of a fleet and the Emperor's legions.
We entered the back door of the palace, and this section acts as the last stretch before we reach the end. There's nothing but combat here, except for a lot of bugs and 2 easy puzzles. We fight our way through the gardens or construction area and into the palace barracks. From there we go to the kitchens, and from there we reach our final destination. This elevator will take us up where we need to go. We're so close.
It's locked.
Key. Okay, makes sense. We look around for the key and find it after trying to fucking make this jump. I kid you not, you're supposed to easily jump onto this, like, chandelier, and I spent 20 minutes trying to get on. I looked up the 3 playthroughs of this game existing on YouTube, and I scoured Reddit for answers. You're supposed to make this. But one comment that I can't find right now said it's easier to just jump from a different place and straight into the room you're supposed to get into. I totally forgot to hit record because I was so frustrated and maybe happy that I finally found a solution, so I'm sorry for that. It only took me like 3 minutes though. Okay, let's go. Wait, what the fuck? What the? I thought this was the end of my playthrough. Every time I stepped onto this platform and it started lifting me up towards my goal, I clipped through the floor at various stages of the ride. I thought it was all lost, but I managed to position myself after a long time trying, so I could like ride it all the way up, just barely. And up there is a lever for an elevator that will lead us up to the governor. Okay, shit, hold on, Sai. We trek through the whole palace and finally find this elevator outside in the garden/construction area that we first entered. Okay. Prep. We drink our potions and face off with Dram.
Come, Redguard. Let me shave you to the bone. To tower left. The Cha and Day. Easy. To tower left. Hi! Easy. Scratcher. The Cha and Day.
Oh, you pussy, just fleeing, like always. Not much of a bodyguard. Time for the governor.
I guess then, it's time. Reconsider your options. Rogue's luck. How remarkable. I may well be the first Imperial Admiral to surrender at this altitude.
No surrender, Governor. You just die on your feet.
The rules of engagement state quite clearly that a losing party may yield to his opponent on the field of battle, and that the victor may, within honorable reason, determine his ransom.
Remind me in hell.
But where's the money in that? Or Redguard honor? I know a swordsman like you, Redguard, can't kill an unarmed man. And as a gentleman, I place myself under your protection, and as a swordsman of no little accomplishment, I congratulate you on your mastery of the longsword. And I congratulate you also on your small victory here. I have failed my Emperor, and may regret surviving to face his displeasure, but... drop the weapon.
What were those rules of engagement again?
I'm sorry, Redguard. The rules of engagement govern the affairs of gentlemen. But you, a rebel in arms, a traitor to the Emperor, and a threat to the Emperor's peace. All you have earned is summary execution. You die now, Redguard.
Do it then, because that'll be the easy part. But look down there, Rickton. Now there's an army that's tasted victory, and one you'll never defeat again.
No more words.
Rickton, it's time you saw that Redguard fire you've heard so much about. You never did kill the Prince, Rickton. He lives.
The old quarters should be restored in time for the celebrations, my lady.
Make sure Captain Basil has all the men he needs.
You know I have to leave soon.
Can't you at least stay for the celebrations? They are because of you, after all. Baron Volai came out of hiding to retake Sentinel after he heard of our own uprising. Both he and the Emperor are coming here to work out the treaties.
The Emperor's coming here?
We've had 2 bloody wars in as many years, Cyrus. An accord must be struck with the Empire. But at least now we will be respected allies if all goes well, instead of exploited subjects. A tour guide me in this.
I've never been much for politics.
I forgive you anyway. I can do no less.
So, that's Redguard, the forgotten Elder Scrolls game that flopped massively. a vaguely interesting story, resting underneath horrible controls, confusing puzzles, frustrating platforming, and performance issues, though that can be somewhat forgiven, I assume. And the dialogue system was fine. It was just fine. I had more woes than good times playing this. The characters more than often just drove me to insanity. The locations were dull, and the adventures I had were... well, they were just fine. You know how Tomb Raider made you feel? That feeling you thought about just then when I mentioned it. You know how it controls, feels, and looks like. It was a good time. I kind of wanted this game to bring that kind of emotion back to me. But the only thing I think about when mentioning this to other people is... oh, this.
Well, met, stranger.
There's not a lot of mechanics in this game. They're barely non-existent. Besides of the use of items, the fighting, which is horrible, and the dialogue system, which is perfectly just fine. There's a lot of dialogue. If you love lore, you can enrich your lore on the Elder Scrolls series if you want to play this, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's playable. You can do it with about 20 pints and a spliff. You can get through this. But will you? I doubt it. And I don't recommend it either. I don't think what they wanted to come together properly did. The story was somewhat interesting at some points. It got me through it, but the story was somewhat interesting, but it was marred by everything else in the game. It was a fight to push through. There's a lot of reasons to why it flopped. The tossing aside of what made the previous Elder Scrolls games interesting was one of the biggest ones, I think. This game should never have slapped the Elder Scrolls name on it. I'm all for spin-offs, but it just feels wrong somehow with this much of a shift. Overall, Redguard is an experience I'm glad I pushed through, but that I will tell as a horror story to whoever asks me about it. Painful. The special thanks to section is hilarious, by the way. Course light? Wait, shouldn't that be light? Not a light? But the magic wands? Damn, they got freaky. Well, there he is, George Lucas. There's no doubt that Todd had a hard-on for his Indiana Jones movies. It's more than obvious now. Man, God too? Damn, you'd think with the power of God, this game would have been good. Thank you for sitting through this mess of a video. It took me a very long time between working, being horribly sick with the flu for almost 2 weeks, and the time just spent playing through it and now editing it, without wanting to just off myself. If I ever do videos like this again in the future, they'll stay around the 1 hour mark, I promise you. I just wanted to really show off this thing as I love the Elder Scrolls series in general, but this is a bit too much. I agree. Thank you for watching. If you're here at the end, thank you so much. And write a comment with the word like Batman in it so I can see that you're an actual lunatic. Until the next one.